We have a fully articulated body in his brown suit.
Fans are asking for her and Inart.
Tom Cruise likeness, screen accurate sculpted hair.
We're going to go for fully seamless silicone arms.
This, you got the raptor right here on the side.
Bring Elizabeth I into the spotlight she deserves.
My Hot Toys pitch today.
For the standard version, 380. Of course, he would have 2 head sculpts the same way.
You will have several unmasked sculpts.
Now, this is going to be a hot ticket item.
Of course, the standard figure base.
That Daily Bugle office themed backdrop, double sided.
We'll throw in a diorama base.
Also get that like civilian clothing look.
Grime him up, make him super dirty.
And some A-Train Turbo Rush.
That was awesome.
Hell yeah. Buenos dias.
Intro.
Hell yeah. Buenos dias. Bienvenidos a otro capítulo de Más o Menos, capítulo 15, episode 15. We are back. We've made it to episode 15, guys. And how about those updates on those intros? We added a little extra. Thanks to my man down there, Giovanni. Giovanni went ahead and added a little extra flavor. What do you guys think? Marco, did you like the new updates?
Yeah, I really love the audio clips. That was like such a great introduction. I just wish it was longer though, Gio. Like at the 10-minute mark, it was starting to get going. So maybe just put another 10 on there.
Talk to Jose about that. I brought that up. So you talk to him.
I think they should increase it to half an hour.
That's right, exactly. No, but really, really well done. I love the audio clips. That was perfect.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Cooking. That was awesome. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like tell you guys beforehand because you could hear all your voices in it. Like everyone here, you could hear your voice.
I really emphasized the figure base in my pitch there. I didn't realize how emphasized that was.
Like a Las Vegas type of.
Yeah. Right. No, I mean, again, a big appreciation there to Gio. There's a couple of things where I was like, oh, can you like line it up this way? And can you add this? And we added a couple of new elements there. He had done an initial draft. And then I was like, here's some notes. And then he was like, okay, no problem. And then I was like, here's some more notes. And he was like, okay.
This is why you don't help friends, Gio. See, this is
come on, Jose. Like he's not ChatGPT. Leave him alone.
That's right. I know. And a big appreciation to Gio. He always does a lot for this show. So big shout out to him. So I hope you guys appreciated that. Again, those little intro additions for you guys. All right, but I want to go to my special guest panel first, guys. I want to go to the competitors. Guys, we have this matchup, 2 former champions, 2 guys that, well, guy and a girl this time, that competed in the King Shark Tank and came out victorious. Now, Feezy, I know this one's got kind of a subject for you, because my man here, Ben Thomas, he was the winner last time. Now, you'll have your opportunity. The reason you're here is because we'll have your opportunity in the redemption tournament. But Ben Thomas, how do you feel? You were the victor this time. Can you come out the victor this time as well?
Feasty there. I'm feeling pretty confident. Warmed up really well there before the game, and feeling like as long as I take shots to the net there, I'm gonna do pretty well. So yeah.
Is this a bedazzled reference or what?
That's a hockey reference.
You hope you play good. You want to play good.
No,
I added hockey for you. Remember you mentioned it.
I saw that. I was like, yes, that got me pumped up. No, I'm excited to be here, guys. Thanks for the invite back. Vita is definitely a Vita, I should say. I got to get it right. She's been let me slide for a long time with the wrong enunciation, but she's a tough competitor. And so I feel excited. I feel confident, but I also feel like there's a chance that I'm going to get the rug pulled. So I'm here to compete. Lots of lovely faces on the panel today. Love to see you guys, and excited to see the chat out there having some fun. So it's going to be a good day. I'm excited. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. And Vita, how do you feel? Ben's a tough matchup, but I know you're excited about this one.
The only thing I have to say is, if you won't vote for me, I will cry. And then how are you all going to feel when you made the girl cry?
So much pressure already there.
That's all I'm saying.
You think I have a heart? I'm gonna clap all the way to victory. Don't even worry about it.
Ben makes women cry at his job daily, so this is nothing to him.
Oh my!
Yeah,
I'm in trouble then.
I did see Vita training earlier. Post.
I did see that. She was in the
training.
Gym.
Yeah,
was like,
pumping up.
I'm coming for you, Ben. She was like,
I was imagining actually Ben's face, and I was like punching it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's aggressive. It was like a poster of me on the glass at the gym. Like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah.
I do want to get into my next guest, Feezy. Now, Feezy, you are back again because your theme selection is today, so we'll get into that later. But again, you're going to watch firsthand your former competitor Ben Thomas go one-on-one. Are you gonna be unbiased with your vote? Let us know.
No, already voting for Vita no matter what. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, I'm gonna. I even, I message you for those that don't know. I message Jose. I'm like, I don't know. Should I even be on this? I don't want to appear to seem biased. I just want to make sure this is legit. And Jose's like, no, you're overthinking it. It'll be fine. So, rest assured. Yeah, I'm gonna be fair. I'm looking forward to just having a fun show and seeing what you guys are pitching. I'm always excited to see what the figures that the competitors always pitch, because like, oh wow, that's like actually a good idea, and a lot of good ideas. So not only looking forward to new figures, but also whoever you're pitching to, they hear this or they see this video and they actually make this reality, right? Because that's what we're all here for. Hopefully, that's what we want. Give us some good figures.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I will say it's great to have Feezy on here. Number one, because he's my boy, but also he's another like buttoned up person like Jose, where it's like by the book, like we're gonna follow it to a T. I could be bought though. I could be bribed. So it's good to have that balance for sure.
Gotcha.
These guys are playing by the rules. I'm like, fast and loose.
Thanks for countering.
That's right.
And Jim sitting there right in the middle of the screen, smiling and nodding.
Absolutely. Speaking of Jim, you're here. You told me speaking of being unbiased, you said I can definitely be unbiased. I want to know if that's really, really true, because if you vote against Vita, how is that going to go in your household?
I mean, the couch is pretty comfortable here, so I think I might be all right, to be honest. But but yeah, Feezy, you think you're worried about appearing biased to me? I think I've got the words.
I know, right? Yeah, it should be even then. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I can be biased. If Ben brings up an absolute banger of a figure, then I can put my money where my mouth is in that element. So we'll have to see what he brings. And what Vita
Except that I just forgot what figure you did last week, and then I was all excited to show you.
You did,
and then
I
messed that up.
Almost accidentally robbed my loss.
I literally insulted the man backstage. But since Viking Collectibles is in the chat, I brought the VHS version of the mask home with from my brother's house last week, and I was all excited to show Jim because I was like, "Look, Jim, I got your figure." No, he was like, "That was definitely not mine." I'm like, oh, yeah. Ooh.
He's like, "Can you believe that, Harrison?" He was like, "Look, this made me think about you," and then Jim was like, "Man, that's messed
it literally
up,
did." But I was like,
me and Harrison are basically the same person, to be fair. So.
Oh, absolutely. And again, of course, Gio, the movie canon. Gio, you're always one of our regulars here, man. Again, you made that wonderful intro. How are you this morning? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me here, as always. It is the quinceañera episode.
It is
of Más o
yes.
Menos, so episode 15. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. There is a little bit of origin story with Vita being here on the panel, so I think I have a little bit of pressure as to who I'm going to vote for as well. Because when I was on the panel, when I was in the vote pitching my character, the panel there voted against me except Vita.
Yeah.
And so she was the only one who voted for me. And then when she went,
and the first pitch, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the first pitch, yeah, I voted against Vita because that's the way it turned out. But here we are again, so I guess we'll see what happens. But so there's that pressure there. But I'm still excited to be here, guys. So thank you for inviting me here.
Glad to know you don't keep score, Gio, and you don't hold grudges. So that's great.
Right.
Yeah, I don't hold grudges.
Yeah, there you go.
He has been. Gio has been one of the few that he's like really concerned. He's like, hey, just who is she doing? Because it's like, how am I gonna? I want to know I can vote for her. And I was like, yo, man, he's like, I don't want to let her down. You never know, man. You never know. He's like, it's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be a hard one for sure, based on what I know.
If Jim votes against Vita, then I'll be fine. I'll be like, oh, well, Beyonce, so who am I?
No, Gio, you keep thinking that. You keep thinking that.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and say, before we get into the warm-up, I want to say hello to everyone that's in the chat. Most of us, it's just us warming up the chat, but I want to say hello. I got Viking Collectibles, Harrison, one of the regular here on this channel, a Más o Menos original. He says, good evening, people. Look forward to this one. Remember to hit the like button on your way in. Yeah, please, if you guys could, go ahead and please hit the like button so other people can catch this show. Absolutely. Gio warming up the chat. Vita also warming up the chat. Yes, we got... Yeah, Feezy warming up the chat. Oh my goodness. Why can I not pull this up? There we go. Yes.
And Jose, after we get through the chat, I do want to show a recent pickup. It's not a figure. But
yeah, absolutely.
But go ahead and do your thing.
Yes. Some praise for the intro. Feezy, you did catch that. The darkness. That's all Gio though. That's all Gio.
Yeah. Thank you, Gio. Chef's kiss. Good looking out.
We need those darkness in our lives. So yeah.
We got Blue Tattoo saying, what's up here? Hey man, how are you? Viking says, good luck to you both. Go Team Vita. Oh, there we go. She, you already know the
unbiased
is there.
Unbiased, right?
Got my man Calvin.
That's a real teammate.
Wow.
Shout out to Calvin. Shout out to Calvin. Oh, speaking of, Calvin has let us know. He let us know on Gio's channel last night. He is starting a new stream with Miguel on his channel, the Toy Quest 101. It's going to be called The Players Club. It's starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. I believe, yeah, that's the time zones, I believe. So you definitely go ahead and check out his show. He said it's going to be like a barbershop style conversation.
It's very Ice Cube themed because we got the Players Club, we have barbershop, very Ice Cube.
Absolutely.
It should be on Fridays, but you know what? All good.
That would have been the ultimate one right there. Ben again warming up the chat. All right, who else do we got here? Oh, Fake Poser, the winner of the first ever triple threat battle, three-way battle from the last episode. Fake Poser, he is here. He has earned and punched his way into the Champions Tournament. So, Fake Poser, good to see you here, my friend.
Jose, we're losing your mic a little bit here.
Oh,
there you go.
Better now.
Hello.
You're good.
That's better.
You're good.
Perfect. All right, Marco, you wanted to go ahead and show us something? I'm excited about this. So
there's a whole story behind this, and obviously you started off with some Lakers stuff, so I got to balance it out with some Kings stuff. I used to be more into shoes, and they did a limited drop for All-Star Weekend for Jason Williams. So I'm sure very few people know what this is, but these are the Hyperflies, but they're the player edition. They've got Jay Will there. They got the 55 on the tongue. So I haven't camped out for something in a while, but got there early. This was on Valentine's Day though, so I'm still in hot water with Gigi for this one. But yeah, for a lot of reasons there. But yeah, so like I told her, I'm gonna go check out the line and see. There's already people lined up, so I was like, okay, I'm sitting at this point. I think I waited maybe like 3 hours for these. But yeah, like it's cool to be back in the shoe game. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate these into the display somewhere. So it's gonna be tough with figures to incorporate, but yeah, they're kind of a work of art in my opinion. So if anyone has any recommendations on how to, incorporate things that are aside from figures, like collectibles that are sports related, let me know. Because trying to sort out this room at this point.
Jim, you don't wear something you queue 3 hours for. Jesus.
Everyone else in line was like, no, I'm rocking these. Like, I'm here to wear them out. But I had these when I was younger, so probably like 20 years ago. They crease instantly, and I'm a toe walker, so these would stand no chance on my feet. But they'll be nice in a display case.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you could find a display, there's a couple that you can where you could put it in there, so that way you can have it displayed off to maybe where your displays are. There is specific ones for shoes. I've seen some.
Okay.
You could, you could find one.
I'm going to do this closet as a display area as well. So we'll see. And I've got a football helmet as well. So maybe just a little bit of sports memorabilia to mix in with all the hot toys.
Yeah. Graham, Jedi Night Watch, he does a lot of that stuff too. His room has got a lot of that stuff. I've seen that.
That's right, bro. Okay, good call. Yeah, I was deep down the rabbit hole looking at Delo's collection tour. Looked at everybody's stuff, trying to get inspiration for the room. So I'm deep in room reconfiguration at this point.
Absolutely. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to show? Anything crazy? Anything new that you've got in? Anything you want to go ahead and share with the audience?
Nothing unboxed, anyways.
Do you have a bunch of boxes sitting on the floor right now, like me?
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Came in waves, man.
Tough one.
Not only 6 scale, but also like 12 scale stuff too. So it's just sitting.
Oh no!
This weekend though, I'm aiming for this weekend.
There you go. And you want to take your time and enjoy it too, right? You don't want to like rush through that unboxing experience.
100. Yeah. There you go.
That's the tough balance.
Yeah. My issue's been where I'll take them out. Like I'll take out the figure initially, and then I'll make sure they're okay and all that, and then I'll put it somewhere where it needs to be displayed for now. And like I might not even pose it. I'll just have it out so that way it's out there. But the accessories and everything else, I don't get into that until later, because then I'll take them all out, put them in a little separate Ziploc bag or whatever, and store it where I usually store it. So the boxes are still there because I haven't done that yet. So it's like, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3,
you guys
4,
crazy.
5, 6,
double whammy,
7, 8, 9 boxes right now in the room. So
you guys crazy. That's blasphemy. That would just stress me out.
They'd be in the trash.
Boxes everywhere. Jesus. Clutter everywhere. No.
Yeah, and I'm very much like stressed out by clutter as well. So sitting in this room, which I also do like some daytime job work in as well. I don't know why I said daytime job, but my actual job work. My actual work. How about that?
I wonder what you do at night, Marco.
That's right. Well, it's a whole other show. But so I'm very motivated to get this room done and get this shit off the ground.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely gotta. There's 9 boxes in here, and I gotta go through them ASAP. Yeah, 9 boxes.
Never would happen.
It's just some of them. Oh yeah. I just gotta go through them. It's just kind of like, oh my goodness. It's like the figures are out.
And you figure it, I'm like a kid. I just can't not like open it immediately. And like
I do open it
out and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, look, that's the difference. So Marco's told me that he can go weeks without opening them, but I'll open it again. I'll take it out. But yeah, Marco.
What was that, Gio?
See if it's okay, like there's no issues with it,
That's kind of the scary part, right? Is you let them sit too long, it's like, all right, you're out of warranty at this point. You're cooked. So I'm that way with a few of these, but I don't want to rush the process again. Like I want to be able to enjoy it. And like I just opened the Battle Damage Terminator. I forget what DX that is, but you probably know off the top of your head, Jose. And I see it in the background there,
46.
Vita and Jim. And it's like such an incredible figure. Like experiences like that are like, this is why I'm in this hobby. Like that is just the ultimate
Take it in.
representation. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I did pull a Marco recently. I was telling you about it, Marco, and I was like, man, there's one figure that I haven't even touched it, and it was like delivered like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I felt like Marco. I was like, because usually, again, I'm always like, you know, I got that scare, you know, feeling, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh man, like I need to open this because I need to make sure it's okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to open it, but also I need to make sure it's okay. We talked about the Batman Returns, because with all the issues that the Batman Returns was having, I told you, I'm like, you need to open that ASAP, because you don't know if it comes with those peeling issues, which is a whole other conversation. But yeah, that was a little scary, but it looks like both of us were pretty okay with ours, right, Marco?
Yeah, I think mine, knock on wood, seems like it's perfectly fine. So yeah, I mean, one of those things that, yeah, once it gets in the zeitgeist of our community, it's like everyone's freaking out. Should I cancel? It's like, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, we're a little concerned about that one, but I think we're okay. All right, guys, I want to get into the first discussion before we get into the figure talk. So guys, people watching, don't worry, we will talk about figures. Please don't yell at me in the chat. We will get into the figures. But I wanted to talk to you guys now in honor of the 2000s themed. I'm like, we should do a little retrospect. We should talk about the era a little bit and see what you guys remember and what kind of, you know, what kind of memories you guys have, core memories that you have from that era. So let me go ahead and bring this up if you guys don't mind. Let me go ahead and do that now. Here it is.
I see Ben rocking the Ben Thomas sweatshirt as well. Very classy.
Oh yeah, represent.
Where could one get those, Ben?
If you on my YouTube channel link, there's a TeePublic link right there. So if you're interested in getting some merch, I like kind of like what Zach always says at Collecting Weekly. Wait until the stuff's on sale, because like they're pretty good quality, but they have some pretty deep sales, and you can get stickers and mugs and placemats and bags and all of the things. So this is a double XL. Like I'm 6'2" and about 225 pounds. So if you're in that like range, then you probably want a double XL. So
okay, all right. I will be purchasing a shirt here in the very near future.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, every time, Ben, you talk about you being tall, and I'm like, oh man, if we ever met, you'd be like, you tower over me,
I was
man.
just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It would be like that picture where Marco sent with the Sabonis and
oh yeah,
like quite similar.
Yeah, I'd be Marco
absolutely.
in that situation, 100%.
Oh my goodness. Hey, before we get into the main topic here, we have another one of our special guests. The man, One Adam 12 is here. Let me go ahead and remove this. What's going on? I can't see him. There he is. There he is.
Hey, I'm warmed up. How we doing? Good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was running late.
No problem, Adam. Good to see you. Glad that you could join us here. And again, we're about to get into the discussion here of the 2000s. So again, just a little retrospect, guys. I wanted to see what you guys remembered about the era, anything in particular. And I'm bringing up, like, I have a couple of notes here just so you guys can refresh your memory. I want to go back to the 2000s. And again, in honor of your pitch, Ben and Vita, let's talk about technology. And again, obviously it was from the analog to digital bridge. Again, we went from physical media, so the CDs and the Walkmans that we were carrying around, and then you'd be listening to it, and then it starts skipping when you move too much to the portable library. So again, we started going to iPods, and again, the internet transitioned from dial-up destination to the box office. In the office, I'm sorry, to the early mobile connectivity of the BlackBerry era. So we had technology, moving along. Pop culture, the rise of reality TV, again, Survivor, American Idol, to tabloid obsession with celebrity culture, birth of the water cooler moments where people would watch the same event simultaneously. So that we had that. In terms of pop culture, reality TV was very, very hot at the time, and I'm sure that it still is, but that was when it really was the rise. Fashion, chaotic expression, a mix of bling culture, the rise of low-rise jeans. I don't know if anybody was a fan of those. I know Marco was, and
fan of looking at them but not wearing them for sure.
Oh, okay. The birth of the indie sleaze, and it was a decade defined by bold, often loud experimentation. So I got a picture here if you guys don't remember how people were dressing. And then again, in movies, cinema was redefined by grounded superheroes, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man proved comic book movies could be global box office juggernauts. Christopher Nolan's Batman began, pun intended, around that era as well, with 2005 film, and then again the sequel, 2008, The Dark Knight. By 2008, Iron Man had laid the first brick for the MCU, again, which would become the juggernaut it is today, forever changing how stories are told across multiple films. I want to go to Marco. Marco, what do you remember about this era? What stands out to you?
Yeah, really quickly before I get into that, I just want to say hi to two of our friends popping in here.
Yeah.
And let me know if I missed anyone else. So we got Figurecraft in the house. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Philly, what's going on?
Hey, Philly.
We got our boy Will Foxification saying, I'm 6'4", 180. What size should I get? I think that's schmedium, I think is the technical term that you wear. But I'll let someone else correct me.
It's large.
It's large. There you go. But hey, thanks for joining, guys. And we also got Blue Tattoo over here driving. So, oh, he's not driving. All right.
Yo, what up, Blue?
Yes, so it's funny to be like nostalgic about this era because it like both feels like it just happened and also so long ago. What's the name of this dude on American Idol with the curly hair? I'm like
Ryan Seacrest. Was that?
No, not Ryan. Well, he did have a look.
Justin Guarini.
There you go.
The
Oh
Kelly
my
Clarkson.
goodness.
Yep.
I'm like, I completely forgot this person was had their
That was
15 minutes
season
of
one.
yeah. It's so funny. Like Kelly Clarkson obviously still has the staying power to this day, and this person like had their 15 minutes and was runner up. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but yeah, incredibly nostalgic to think about the 2000s. Also looking at the Xbox. Okay, I think the statute of limitations has run out here, but I had this Xbox that had a hard drive in it. You could put the games in it. It would copy the games. So I was like back and forth from Blockbuster, like loading that hard drive up with every possible game. So feeling like, all right, that was like the best of times where I had so many games and like actually time to play them. So yeah, this is was a very special era, obviously, and a formative era for a lot of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had one of those Xboxes as well. So that was amazing, right? That you could do things like that. I would just go and rent a game and then I'd do that. And then, well, I have the game now, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Feezy, what do you remember about this era? Is there something that stands out in particular for you?
Not in particular, man. Like I'm kind of bad with years, so I'm kind of in general. So I'm not sure where one begins, where like the 90s end and the 2000s begin. But looking at a picture of the phones, you know, one of my first phones back in the day was I don't know if this was during that time, but or maybe it might have been the 90s, a Nokia. That the one that everybody had. Did that come out in the 90s or was that 2000s? Because I'm looking at these phones here and I can't tell if that was part of it.
Probably the
either way.
2000s, yeah.
Was it? Yeah, the one that had like Snake
early 2000s.
All that, yeah.
Snake,
So, like,
oh man.
Yeah, you remember that?
Snake
Yeah,
is
that,
the goat.
8-bit, game on that. Speaking of 8-bits, on there. But yeah, and that was just like the rage. Everyone, or the rave, and everyone had like different faceplates for that phone, and yeah, it was just that was just great. That was just funny, and just to see that technology and compared to the games too. Yeah, I didn't have the Xbox. I wasn't really big on Xbox, but I had the PlayStation, so I had the PS1, the PS2, and followed that suit. So that was really big. Of course, you know, being a gamer and among fellow gamers here, the PS2 was a big jump. I remember getting that. That's actually I take it back. I do remember getting that day one. I had ditched school, me and my good friend, and I picked that up, and we came back to the house, and we were playing. What was it? I think SSX was a launch day game. I think that's the one I got, the snowboard game. And yeah, firing that up, and again, like we always say, it was like, oh damn, this looks so good. Look at these graphics for PS2. We were just blown away. Yeah, it was just awesome, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge jump, right? Like we thought, we look at those games now and we're like, oh my God, what is this? But back then we were just like, oh man, look at what you can do now. This is amazing. We didn't really, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we think about that like with figures too, right? Because like back then, 10 years ago when we would buy a figure, it looked a certain way, and then you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This looks so lifelike. Oh, I can't believe it. And then like you look at that figure now and you're like, oh my God, it's so dated. Look how boxy it looks, and look at the accessories, and look at how the clothes fits on him, and then the paint and all that. So I feel like we see it the same way as well.
Yeah, PS2 also real quick is like I think to date, if I'm mistaken, the highest selling console, because you guys remember that was the console that came with the Blu-ray player. So a lot of people got a PS2, and that was in a lot of homes for that reason. Like they were just like, well, I want a Blu-ray player. It's like either comparable to others or, you know, does both. So they got that, and yeah, it's like no other console has sold as many as like the PS2 console. So yeah, that was a defining gaming moment there for Sony.
Absolutely. I will say I resisted the PlayStation because I was an Xbox guy. So I was like, everybody's got the PlayStation. Right. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna go Xbox, and I lived with Xbox ever since. Yeah, apparently I was not cool enough then. You know, whatever's, man. Hell yeah, whatever's. Bye. I forgot I got the power to do that.
Wow, too much power for you, Jose.
You have the power. Yeah, you have plenty of power.
Drunk from power again.
He's drunk on the power.
And he's gone.
Not just teasing you, man. No, yeah, I always felt like the PlayStation was like, oh, everybody's got the PlayStation. So I don't know. I like the alternative. I know it's huge on Halo. So I was like, oh, I wanted to play Halo. So I was just like, oh, Xbox it is. I want to go next to Jim. Jim, what do you remember about this era? We're about the same age. So we grew up, you know, with the same things, but on opposite sides of the world. How were things over there in the 2000s for you?
I mean, these were the good days back then. That was like the perfect age, a bit like what Marco was saying. Like I had all the time in the world, played different video games, and I was an only child, so I was definitely spoiled because I had the PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox. I had all three. And I remember actually going to Toys R Us to pick up the Xbox Crystal back in the day. That was a really exciting moment. It was on my birthday. I got the GameCube for my birthday as well. Yeah, I was spoiled as a kid.
What is Xbox Crystal? Is that like a see-through version of the Xbox?
Yeah, it's like the see-through version. Yeah. That's the one I got.
I still
have it, unfortunately.
Oh, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's been broken. But I remember going on holiday a lot and carrying around like a portable CD player, and then you always had that book full of CDs. Did anyone else have that as well? So you get all your favorite CDs and you put them into that little like book thing.
I didn't carry around with me, but yeah, I had that.
Yeah, we bring that with us on vacation.
Yeah, it's what we used to have as well.
Yeah, Jim's dad still uses it today.
Oh,
he does still use it. Yeah, he's like a iPod, and he still uploads from the CD to the iPod as well, like proper old school.
Wow.
At this point, like, I don't know.
Probably the safest way though. It's always going to be there, whereas every other method we use is.
Media.
That's right.
Yeah. Speaking of that sort of media, did you guys all have iPods?
I never got one.
You never got an iPod?
No.
I never got one. Because then I got an iPhone. So I was like, well, you know.
I never was as privileged to have this luxury items in my country. So no, I didn't have one.
They just got iPods over there. Sorry, that was a little blow.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
But no, I didn't have an I'm the same, Gio. Like I didn't have an iPod until I got an iPhone. That was kind of my first experience, and yeah, no going back after that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't know if you guys remember Napster, but some of you guys might be a little bit too young for this. But back in 2000, 2001, one of the original funders, if you see the social network, he helped fund Facebook, and he from some money he received. So I was big into Napster before it got shut down, and I think I downloaded like thousands of songs, and it was great because I'm like really into like I'm a Pearl Jam fan, and I was a Grateful Dead fan, and so they would have like live bootleg songs on there, and I would download like the heck out of that. I'll say for me, the three things that really come to mind when I think of the 2000s, one, this year actually is my wife and I's 25th anniversary, and we got married in August of 2001. So really the first kind of second year of that decade. And so I think about like the start of my marriage with my wife, and I'll tell you, I remember we went to Disney World for our honeymoon, and we got on the and this is where the second thing that kind of informs that decade. I get mixed feelings about that decade. A lot of awesome pop culture things, but in some ways I think the decade was very dark and sad, and that's because of, I don't want to go too far down this path, because of 9/11, and someone who kind of remembers the world very vividly pre 9/11, and lived in New York, lived in Boston during those events. It was a very dark chapter, and like, so I think of, I remember we got on a plane, and my wife joked, "Oh, what if we're hijacked?" And I go, "Who hijacks? Who hijacks airplanes anymore?" So that was August 11th of 2001, 1 month before. So obviously no one. But what happened in 9/11 informed the culture for certainly the following decade. The Dark Knight, the whole Nolan series. So many aspects of pop culture were informed by the events of 9/11. The Patriot Act, all the things that happened in the wake of 9/11, I think was almost, I won't say to this day, but certainly of the following 20 years. And then, just on a funny note that kind of informed that decade, that picture that you have there of American Idol really informs the 10 years of maybe 20 years of the reality TV era, because two of those people went on to become superstars who are still superstars to this day. The other two people became, who is that? Of course, Ryan Seacrest, because he's he's on everything. Wheel of Fortune. He does he took over for Dick Clark as New Year's Eve host. Kelly Clarkson, of course, and then as Marco asked, who's that guy with the fro? Yeah, Justin Guarini, the runner-up of the first season of American Idol. But the real biggest loser of the reality era of that decade, the guy to the far right of that photo in the middle. Anyone know who that guy is without looking?
No, isn't that the guy? He was like the co-host, right?
He was the co-host, Brian
that's Philly.
Dunkelman. He thought he
Ryan
was
Dunkelman.
so big for that show. He was, he was like, I need more money. I should be bigger. And the producers got rid of him. And everyone knows who Ryan Seacrest is, at least here in the States. But no one remembers Brian Dunkelman. He's, if you follow, he actually kind of a sad life after that. He went to live in his parents' basement, did some stand-up, but certainly the number one show in America, and he became a has-been. Ryan Seacrest, one of the biggest stars and richest stars in the country. So I always find that tale interesting, and kind of emblematic of that decade.
Yeah, absolutely. Gio, what do you remember? Is there something in particular that stands out for you for this era?
There's a few things. Someone mentioned MySpace. Yeah, I was all into MySpace when that was out. I'll do like movie reviews on MySpace, and
you did.
And I would do like little, how you could like edit your profile and like add a bunch of shit on there and music.
I did all of that.
I was doing that kind of like how I do like my streams, like the layout. That is kind of like that, but a MySpace page. So that's kind of how I had it like that, and then Facebook came in, and then I went to that. But there's some movies that I definitely remember that were kind of like definitely stand out in the 2000s. And I guess the first one will be Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
That came out in May of 2002. So I remember that because I was almost going to be an extra in that film, in that that sequence in Times Square when Green Goblin comes down. I was almost going to be in it as an extra, but I didn't have a ride. So I was like, I don't know, 15 or something, and I just didn't have a ride to go. I was supposed to go. I was signed up and everything. And that didn't happen. So then I saw the movie a year later or a year and a half later, and then I was like, oh, that was the scene that I would have been in, because they shot it here in LA somewhere, like in Burbank or Pasadena, somewhere around there. So that's where they shot it. So I remember that. Obviously Spider-Man became the big thing that we know now, right? So you have the picture right there of a Spider-Man and the upside down kiss with Mary Jane. So all that stuff, very iconic. And then of course the Matrix sequel. So I was super excited when they were talking about a sequel for that. Matrix Reloaded. They dropped the teaser a year in advance. They dropped it at what are those movie show? Not like it's like a movie talk show on network TV. I forgot what it's called.
Entertainment Tonight?
Extra or something like that.
Oh, one of those. Okay,
yeah. So one of those. So I found out that they were going to drop the first teaser of the Matrix Reloaded, and I think I had something to do. I think I had like because I was taking a night class for some reason. I forgot what it was for, but I didn't go to it because I wanted to watch that teaser. of The Matrix Reloaded. That was like a whole year in advance. You know, they used to drop those teasers like a year or even more in advance before the movie would actually come out. So I remember that. So I was excited for that. And then obviously watched the movie and stuff like that. And then we get to the Christopher Nolan era with Batman, and you know that was awesome. Big Batman fan. We had just finished the Batman and Robin situation, which you know it is what it is. But you know I didn't hate it, but you guys know that. But then we get to the Dark Knight. I saw the trailer. Well, I watched I Am Legend. 2007, December 2007, they showed the trailer, the first full trailer of the Dark Knight, and you see more of Heath Ledger as the Joker, and I was like, yeah, that's the Oscar win right there. That's gonna be amazing. And you know, and then we saw the Dark Knight, one of the best films, at least in my opinion, ever made. Definitely the best comic book film ever made, at least again in my opinion. But so yes, there's a bunch of little things like that happen. You know, some personal things that happened that I'm not gonna discuss here. But overall, you know, it was pretty interesting decade there, the 2000s, and it's just kind of weird that it's been 20 years now, more than 20 years now, right? 26 years now with the first, you know, the new millennium. So a lot of stuff has happened, and I kind of feel like I was just talking to someone I think earlier today or yesterday, that if you're like a millennial, you kind of went through a lot of shit that maybe some other generations did not see, some historical stuff that has happened. A lot of them happened like in the 2000s, right? Like, you know, some very
9/11, financial crisis, pandemic.
Exactly. All this shit that other, you know, I mean, we didn't have like a war, like, you know, like World War II, you know, things like that. But I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happened in this century alone. So I was just kind of thinking about that, but yeah.
No, absolutely. A lot of things that we've had to deal with. I want to go to Ben. Now, Ben, is there something in particular that stands out for you? Do you remember what you were listening to, what you were wearing, things like that?
Oh my God. So yeah, a couple things. I have a photo of me holding that red phone right there, the Sony Ericsson slider phone, in a mirror, like taking a photo, like a selfie of myself on my Facebook right now, which is hilarious. I saw it last night randomly, so it's that brought up a fun memory.
Is that your first thirst trap you ever posted?
I mean, it wasn't my first, but it was the beginning. That's for sure. It was definitely the beginning. I thought I was fat back then. I look back at myself now. I'm like, man, I was way thinner than I remember. But the internet was a weird thing. So I lived out in the country. So whenever we would go on the internet, it would tie up the phone line. So I loved MSN with my friends, right? But my family would only let me have 1 hour of internet a night, because they were like, well, if we get an emergency phone call, we can't have the phone lines tied up. So 1 hour, that's it. So, you know, you'd see all your friends at school, and then you'd run to the computer and like type to them for an hour. And it always pissed me off. And I was always like, man, there needs to be a future where the internet is just more widely available. Like, it makes no sense that it ties it up, right?
Insane to think about. Imagine trying to goon, and then they're trying to get through telling you grandma died. Like,
all right,
and they can't because
the internet.
Crazy stuff.
And it was dial-up internet back then, so I still remember the tone of the dialing up. We had satellite TV. Actually, it was more like radio antenna TV back then. So we only got about 4 channels at my house out there, and we had a big radio antenna basically on our roof. And there was like this box in the living room where you would turn a dial to get to the channel that you needed, and you'd hear the thing like on the roof moving. And then there used to be this like bird that would, like, I think it was a woodpecker, but it would like bang on the antenna at times, and we'd lose the TV signal like mid-show. So that sucked. But
your family might have been spies. I don't know that. I definitely didn't have that rotating antenna on my house.
Yeah, as I said, I was out in the country, so
I feel seen. I feel seen, Ben. Finally, I can relate to somebody.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, PlayStation for me, like, I immediately think of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I remember thinking there was a time where I was like, man, this is peak graphics. I don't know how they're ever going to do better than this. You know, and I'd bring people up just to show them how cool it was to drive around the city and get in cars and, you know, like all the things. So like that was really fun. And then, yeah, like, I mean, some of the birth of some of our favorite superhero films, right? We got a chance to see what superhero films really could be with the Tobyverse and some of those things. So like, you know, I loved the 2000s. It was a great time for me. And, you know, despite like what Adam said, you know, of course, with in 2001 and everything. I can't believe that was that long ago already. I was in grade 10 gym class when that happened. I think most people, you know, if depending on your age, remember that day pretty well, and like that was wild times. So, but again, for the decade otherwise, lots of really wonderful memories. And, you know, predating the internet, like I said, you know, I was hopeful for a day where internet would be more widely available. But I also remember the time where cell phones didn't rule us everywhere we went, right? That we actually like socially interacted with people. You'd go to school dances and not everybody had their phones up and all these things. Like it was a different time back then. We're so ruled by our technology now. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be able to have the conversation I'm having with you guys today if we hadn't progressed in that as well. Like technology is cool and still has brought us all together on this platform, right? And I mean, some of my best friends in life exist because of our ability to connect on YouTube and those things. So love you guys, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Vita, last but not least, what do you remember about this time?
So I didn't really think about all the television thing and everything until Ben started speaking about it. But I used to spend loads of time in the countryside at my grandma's. And like I vividly remember, like sometimes obviously we used to be the whole family. And in Lithuania, like basketball is massive. And obviously loads of tournaments happening all the time and that sort of stuff. So I remember how like my dad or my uncle would stand outside by this like metal pole with antenna on top of it. And if, you know, the important games are going, he was like leaning through the window to trying to see the screen. And then it's like, no, we're losing it. And then he's like, would be spinning it around. And I was like, no, not now. So it's like, it's really funny to remember that. And yeah, thanks Ben, that like really reminded me of the fun times in the countryside. But at the same time, at home, like I remember when we had internet, I was speaking to Jim about it as well. I don't know how in the States, but in Lithuania, we had this like a chat script like room called Mirc, MIRC. So like everyone, there was like kind of chat rooms, you would say. Yeah, like I can see Fizi's nodding, so you guys know what I'm talking about. So in Lithuania, this was massive. And I was chatting with Jim and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, boring. But that's where like I spent my teenage years like chatting with all sorts of people. And, you know, like I remember like having like meets and all like this, like, I don't know, 20 people turn up and like, you meet in person and obviously you used to get drunk and things like that as well. Because why else would teenagers would meet? And then funny enough, like talking about, baggy clothes and low cut jeans and things like that, low raised jeans. They're actually in fashion now, Marco, so you're in luck, you know. You can be bedazzled again.
Thank goodness, I've been waiting for that to come back.
Yeah, time to bust them out.
Yeah, so it's a big time now. And I had both of those Nokia phones at the top, like right there. The first one was on the right, and then I had that one in the middle later on when I was a bit older, before I got my BlackBerry afterwards, because it was the coolest phone for me at the time. Because fun fact, I didn't get my first iPhone until I moved to UK actually, so I was 20. That's like the first time I ever held iPhone in my hands, I think, and I felt very cool because I worked very hard and I bought my first iPhone, so I was cool.
Nice.
Cool 20-year-old.
There you go. Very nice.
And yeah, I think I never seen the iPod until I met Jim, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like, "You listen like your music on your phone. What the hell? Like Walkman. I used to have this like orange bright Walkman, the flip one. That was the best thing ever." And I remember by the end that like when you opened the phone, it wouldn't like keep. It was still working, but it wouldn't like stay open. If you like twist the phone, it would just like start like dangling. But I was like literally was like holding it to the last like its breath because I was like, no, it's Walkman. I'm walking. I'm listening to music. It's the coolest thing ever. So it's good times. Good times.
Wow. So Jim didn't actually have game. He just had cool tech to. when he started pursuing it.
What?
I was going to say lure, and I was like, hold on, pause. That's not a good
word. What are you insinuating? That I'm some sort of gold digger?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with the iPod. An iPod shuffle, and oh boy.
Check this out. Yeah.
Marco,
Hey.
you're putting your foot in your mouth in this one, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's why. Oh,
Okay.
that's why you took me home on the first date. To show all you guys.
100%. Look at this big TV that we have. I mean, come on.
That's how I got Gigi. I actually have zero game. I was just quoting shows she had never seen before because she's very sheltered. And then once I started introducing her to them, she's like, "Holy shit, this guy has no personality. He just repeats everything he's seen on TV." So that's where it's at.
It's too late now. You're like, I got you.
I know, right?
That's right. I already had
Yeah.
lured her in at that point. So.
Yeah.
Sound like that's the way
I
to
also-
do it.
I also had I found a photo of me with like carrying a digital camera around my neck on a New Year's Eve night, where it was the old like 2 megapixel, like digital camera. You thought it was like the greatest shit ever, and like this was me in my thirst trap video or picture with that phone back in the day. This is 2009, so like it's crazy, right? So it's crazy. So
Neon green
love to
hat.
sit.
Wow.
Yeah, like this was the thirst trap Ben back in the day, guys. Like, look at this.
Wow.
These were the display photos of the time. So it's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. I gotta delete it.
No,
It's too embarrassing.
looking good, Ben.
It's all for you guys. That's all for you guys. But yeah,
We have
the red
special
Sony
gift.
Ericsson. I freaking loved that phone. So
A special guest in the chat confirming what Marco was saying. Gigi says, "This is true."
There you go.
it's awesome.
Oh gosh. All right. Any final thoughts before we get into the figure talk? Any final thoughts on the era of the 2000s, guys? I know Ben and Vita, you guys were both actively looking at that era before your pitches. Was there something again you guys wanted to add about that era, especially when you guys were looking up your pitches?
You know what's weird? I thought there'd be more movie characters that I'd want to pick for the figure challenge. I thought there'd be more. And I would say that there was less than 10 that I was really like, ooh, like that would be a figure that I would want in a display, or that there's a gap that doesn't exist yet. So yeah, I mean, considering it was a decade of like huge growth for me as a person, it wasn't super driven by characters for me as much as I would have thought. So yeah, anything for you, Vita?
We clearly like different things. There was loads of great characters, but I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right.
But you were too busy posting thirst traps, I suppose, so you can't remember them all.
Possibly.
Ooh, first strike.
No, I think yeah, you guys will see the 2000s are legendary. That's why the fashion, everything is coming around now. So you wait and you'll see. Legendary.
Oh, okay.
I should have done the look that I had where it might have just preceded 2000s, or would have been like the early 2000s, like 2000 right on the dot. But I used to also rock a Nike visor, and I would do like the power spikes out the top with my hair, and they were all golden tipped, just like the B44 band, except that they were blonde instead of blue. That was a look. Oh, and I had a hoop earring at the time, because like now I've got like my both here. But yeah, that was a pretty wild look. So I should have rocked that for today's challenge. The
I remember my brother had like golden
through the
spikes
visor
as well.
That's awful.
I remember when he
That's
got it,
awful.
and I was like, "What the hell are you doing with yourself?"
Yeah, and the one big hoop earring that I was rocking for a long time as well. So love to see it. Good times.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I want to shout out to Yomo, who's in the chat. Yomo, what is up? He says, "What's up to everybody? Good to see you, Yomo. Got the Yomo juice? Let us know, man. Let us know."
Yomo juice. There you go.
All right, guys, let's get into some figure talk. I don't want the people in the chat getting mad at me. They're being like, "Can we talk about toys?" Yeah, we will. We will. Don't worry. We will talk about toys. Let's see. Which one should we talk about first? Oh, okay. I think this one we might be able to go through this one quickly, but let's see. Let's go and bring this one up. Here it is. And here we go. Fellas, we got another Iron Man. How exciting. But this one is a little different, right? It's got a little modern technology to it. Got a pretty good head sculpt. Guys, Age of Ultron, they're redoing the Age of 2.0s. I think that's what, something like that along the lines of your video, Ben, you were talking in regards to they're doing some new versions of these characters. I'm expecting basically all the Avengers to be redone from this film and from the original film. Ben, you saw this. You made a video on it. Let us know. What do you think about this Iron Man?
Ben, I'm not getting any audio for you. I think you might be on mute.
Yeah, I was muting.
And Jose was just letting you go. He was letting you spit bars.
He was just letting me roll right in. I think, I'll say again, I think like the fact that they've got the USB-C finally going here, I think is a huge win for Iron Man. Like that's obviously been a huge gap for these figures for a really long time. Seeing an Iron Man turned off in your display is so sad, but like I love my Mark 7, and so if I could have him permanently lit, that would be wonderful. The downfall is that so many of collectors have already invested so many dollars into the 2.0 representations or the diecast representations of their Iron Man, so you know for sure that this is going to mean that 3.0s are coming of almost every one that we already have with that USB technology to light them up. Having said that, I think it's cool that it's there. I still think that the likeness to Tony Stark is off. I think it looks more like Robert Downey Jr., but there's still something when I've seen some comparison photos that I'm like, I don't know, like they just, for some reason, they just can't nail it for me. I don't know what it is. And so I think Iron Man looks cooler with his suit of armor anyways. I think the biggest win for this figure is actually the deluxe option that comes with that that cool diorama display base with the was it the Sentry that you can pull apart and make it look like he's a pile of rubble or like a whole figure itself, except that the cost there will be pretty freaking wild. The Mark 43 suit isn't a standout suit for me specifically. I know it's a favorite for a lot of folks, but it wouldn't be in my top 5. For me, it's always going to be Mark 7 that wins the day when it comes to Iron Man. So I'm going to skip this one, but I think it's cool to see it. It just got piled in with so many other announcements in the same evening, though, that it was probably the least exciting of the characters that popped up for me.
Got it. What about you, Jim? I think you were mentioning this in the group chat about this specific Iron Man. How do you feel about this one?
Me?
Yes.
Was I don't think, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember much. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Sorry, or maybe it might have been Harrison. You know how you guys are interchangeable. So
yeah, it probably was.
Harrison.
We're basically
it's heresy.
Yeah, exactly that. Heresy. Honestly, I think this is a relatively good release from Hot Toys. I think like the deluxe, for example, comes with quite a lot of stuff, which is quite nice to see. Ben, I have to disagree. I think that's really, really good head sculpts, though. I think that's pretty strong for their maybe not a 10, but it's easily the best we've seen of Robert Downey Jr. so far. I'm sure Vita will disagree with me. We always disagree on head sculpts, but yeah, it's a really nice release. I'm also not a massive fan of this design for this armor either. I just don't like the way the golds worked throughout it. It just doesn't really work for me. But yeah, I think overall it's a pretty decent release. I'm just wondering, are we going to get a Hulkbuster 2.0 now is what I'm wondering.
Yes.
Yeah. You can see it in a few shots here, which could mean nothing, but it could also mean potentially they might shill out for that as well. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye on, because I never got to get that the first time around. So that'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. That's the first thing I thought of too. I mean, we obviously saw the Thor in the background, so that was kind of one of the first things. But then when I saw it flying out of the Hulkbuster, I was like, oh, are they teasing something there? Is there going to be a new version of the Hulkbuster? I mean, I would not buy that, but I know people might.
You're ready to pay over $1,000 plus shipping.
Can you share it really quick when I'm sharing, Jose, just for the group, so they can chat to it as well. So shout out to 6 Scale Treasures on Instagram. He lets me use his photos every once in a while for comparison shots. But to Jim's point, like, I think this is probably the best of the Tony Stark head sculpts that we've seen. We can see a couple here real quick. I just got it shared in the bottom there, buddy, in the presenter view. So again, like in terms of some of the different Tony Stark head sculpts, right? Like they go back a long way. Like you love the Stuart Little one up in the top right hand corner that set the community on fire, you know. And again, like they continued to dial it in, but like for some reason he looked like some kind of Spanish for a little while there, and then like just
some kind of Spanish is crazy, but I'm gonna
make some Menos
Antonio.
Let's see here. I wanted to show you guys like this. Like this to me is why I don't think it looks necessarily like him. He still looks kind of pale and gaunt, kind of sickly. I just don't.
Oh my!
I still think that there's right. I think that there's still room for improvement here. If I'm honest, like that on the right is Tony Stark from that film.
Lips are wrong. He looks like he had Botox in.
Or right, it's like he's filled up in a strange way. So I agree with you, Jimmy. I think that it is probably the best, but I don't know. What do you guys?
He's just proven it's the best out of not a very good bunch. To be honest,
out of a not very good bunch. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Six Scale Treasures. Follow him on Instagram if you get a chance. But
no, thank you, Ben, for doing that. I'm not so. We have Marco here to help out with things like that, but he's just kind of. Wow. Cruising along, so
sorry, I wasn't listening. Say it again.
Marco, what do you think, man? What do you think about this?
Yeah, so just kind of like a sidebar here. Like, it's interesting as you get into this hobby, because obviously we're all really into the films and love something about a shrunken down representation of these characters that we love from the films. With Iron Man, I feel like as I've gotten into this hobby, I never really realized the similarities from suit to suit for Iron Man. Like, I never watching the movies got into that minutia, but then you kind of see like 46 and 47 are the same suit, but they're just painted differently. And then I hadn't really realized that like 42 and 43 are the same suit with just a different paint job. So I hadn't thought that this was naturally the next one that they would do, because they would just take the 42 and, again, update the sculpt and update the paint applications. But like, obviously they were going to do this one because they've invested in the USB technology, like Ben was saying. And so I think, yeah, like it's basically a repaint, but for what they're giving us, I think it's awesome. Like, this is not even my favorite suit from the film. I think I like is it 40? Let's see, is it 46? That's the other one from this film. It's 45, I think, in the final battle, and that one's probably the coolest looking one. So hopefully they give that to us in the near future. But of course, this was lower hanging fruit for them. So, but yeah, like all the little intricate pieces, like everything about the Iron Man figures is evolving. And regardless if people want to say, they're sick of Iron Man, like this is really some of the top tier quality from Hot Toys. I know Gigi's probably lurking to see like, oh, did he spend money on this one? But it's kind of right. This for the deluxe, it's like $510 from Sideshow. Probably like a $600 figure once all is said and done. So I think this is definitely one. And I won't say which way I'm leaning, but if I decide to get this one, definitely one that I want to go with a mom and pop shop, like collector zone, like off the racks, and really get as much savings as I possibly can, because they're pushing some insane price territory here. And maybe you get this and you can't get the Ben Affleck from InArt that they're going to drop here in the coming months. And so there's always going to be trade-offs, especially for a repaint. But this is with the Ultron Sentry, with the base, which I get as a reuse. It's given me a lot of things that I would personally love from the figure. And then you guys are talking about the Hulkbuster with the retractable, potentially electronics there in the future. And of course, that would be a pricey piece, but boy, that would be a hell of a pairing if you've got room and got the capacity and the budget for it. So very intrigued by this one and that Thor that we'll talk about later.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, do you have any thoughts on this Iron Man?
I think Ben in his video really captured that. He had the headline for this. It is the age of 2.0s and the age of 3.0s, 4.0s. Listen, I think they did an excellent job in this. I do have, I guess, so this is the 2.0. I have the 1.0. That was actually the first Iron Man figure Hot Toys Iron Man figure I bought. I think if you I really want a USB powered Iron Man suit. I'm not going to get this because I'm happy with the 1.0 I have, but I like the Civil War version I don't have. I would like another Iron Man Mark IV suit, because the one I have with the Tony Stark head sculpt on, he's kind of laying back having a cup of coffee, like in that scene in Iron Man 2. So I would definitely like one with the helmet on, USB powered. That's probably my favorite suit. So if this is not the one you want, but you want a USB, just wait a minute, because there's more coming. So I would just say, don't just rush out to get this because you want a USB powered suit, unless you really love this suit and really love this this figure because the suit that you want will be coming. It's coming down the pike. It's as Thanos says, it's inevitable.
Oh.
do you think this is a tease for another Hulkbuster? Like, do you think we'd get a Hulkbuster 2.0 USB-C also?
They've already shown recently at a few shows, right?
I
the
think
one
that's
with
coming.
the retractable.
Think so?
Yeah. I agree, Adam.
Okay, well said, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thought process on this one in particular, because I'm like, it's not my favorite suit. I did enjoy Age of Ultron when it released, but this particular suit was never been my favorite. I'm one of those, I only have one Iron Man. I don't have any more than that. I thought about getting the Mark III, ended up not getting it, and I've tried to look for it now, but it's a little too late, and the price is pretty high on that one. Last I checked. So I'm like, well, they're redoing this so many times, so many, it's just like, I might as well just wait for the USB-C version, whenever they do that in a couple of years, and I'm sure it'll be great. So I think I'll be okay there. Anyone else have any more thoughts? Yeah, go
really
ahead.
quickly, just want to say, I hope that they do the Hulkbuster so then they can hopefully do a Hulk for my sake, because I told Ben, don't, chase that Hulk from Avengers 1, because they're going to be redoing a reissue any day now. And so I still feel like it's around the corner, Ben, but I definitely have led you astray on that one.
I was going to mention that on my Thor take, actually. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just a matter of time, especially with Brand New Day. He's going to be in that. From my understanding, he'll be the raging green huge Hulk, not the smart Hulk in that version.
And they gave us Red Hulk too, so it's like, all right, they're willing to do that format.
Yeah. So we'll see it. I think you just got to be patient. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if they do an artisan version of that Hulk. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if they actually, even though he has short hair, they could kind of mess it up, style it a little bit. Yeah, maybe. You never know. And I could definitely see that happening. And I mean, I don't know what the price range would be on that if it was an artisan Hulk, but it'd be interesting for sure. Anyone else got any more thoughts on Iron Man before we move forward? Because I figured we could start with this one, because people don't really care about Iron Man, so because there's so many of them.
Yeah,
any
real quick.
thoughts?
While after hearing you guys, I just want to add, as a general sense, this to me wasn't really a surprise, right? Because a lot of collectors who've been collecting hot toys for a little bit, or even if you're just window shopping, you kind of see that they've been doing 2.0s and 3.0s Iron Man for a while. So like, a lot of people, collectors, are saying, okay, it's just a matter of time before they come out and update these with all this new technology. And yeah, I don't think that's stopping. So it's just like, not only for this one, but they're going to keep, anytime Hot Toys does something new with an Iron Man figure, it's more than likely they're going to just keep upgrading. So then at what point do you say, wait for the next one? So it's just kind of something to consider and take in mind, right? Like, this is 2.0 now. I'm pretty sure in the future I'll put my money on them doing a 3.0, like you guys were saying, right? So it's just kind of like, they're gonna keep evolving, right? We're gonna definitely see others, and it's just something that Hot Toys been doing. We have been seeing it for a little bit already, right? With all these outside of Iron Man, they've been upgrading other figures as well.
All right, anyone else? Final thoughts if I bring up the next one? This one's pretty exciting.
Just quickly, I just think it doesn't look anything better. Like, I don't see any difference from Mark 85, I think the one Jim had before. I don't see like big of improvement, or for it to be like worth the money. Like, if you have something like Mark 85 from before, this one for me doesn't look anything like better. Because I remember I was really impressed by the head sculpt on that one, and I quite enjoyed it. And I'm looking at this one. For me, it actually looks maybe even a bit worse than that one. The lips and the face coloration. And yeah, just in a sense, for me, it's just another Iron Man. Like, I like the character, but at this point, it's just another Iron Man.
Yeah. What about Thor? Since we're on you, Vita, what do you think about Thor?
Not loving it.
Okay, tell us why. No, be honest. Let us know. We want to know. Why.
I feel like the likeness is off, and like here, I don't quite see Chris Hemsworth in here. So like, I feel like the face is quite off. I was kind of looking at these pictures, comparing it to the Thor I have, which is quite old figure. And like, I was like, I almost in certain like spaces I prefer that head sculpt. rather than this one. It's just, I don't know, they're missing something. I feel like it's not quite there. If you compare the likeness, let's say for Wolverine, again, it just disappoints me, like how we can get one figure likeness on, like, right on spot kind of thing. You know, everyone is looking at it and they happy with the likeness. And with this one, I'm looking at like certain angles. I'm like, oh, is that like another figure where you need to play with angles to really see the character you want to see? Like, I'm not saying, you know, I can't see the Thor and I can't see Chris Hemsworth, but I just feel like it should be better at this point. It's just that it should be better. Like, maybe it's just me and maybe I'm just crazy and have too high standards or whatever, or maybe I'm just blind. Who knows? But
No.
I'm not loving it.
No,
that's
that's
the weird
okay.
thing about likeness, though, right? That's the weird thing about likeness. Like Vita, you said that like you've seen other figures that really resonate with you more, and like that makes sense. Like after all these years of doing this collecting, it's the same thing. Like some just like nail it for me, and others don't. If you don't mind me going as well, Jose, since I'm chatting, like I feel like I almost disagree with you on this one. This to me is the best likeness of Chris Hemsworth we've ever seen. It, like, I've thought all of his figures up to this point have missed the mark. Is it perfect? Probably not, but like I would say, like, it is by far the closest that they've come. I think the next closest might have been Fat Thor. His likeness on that one wasn't terrible. And even the last film, what was that film called now, Jose? I can't remember.
Love and Thunder?
Movie.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. I thought that likeness was okay, but that was still a pretty big miss for me. But I hated that outfit. The one thing that I'll note here, though, with this artisan being 3,000 units, is I think this is a bit of a trap. I do think Marco is right when he says eventually Hot Toys is going to go back to the 2012 Avengers film, and at that point we'll see, you know, Black Widow again. We're gonna see Hawkeye again. We're definitely gonna get another Hulk, because there's no way that we're not. And I think at that point we'll also get an Avengers Thor, and I'm sure that they'll probably use this head sculpt. I'd be shocked if they didn't reuse this to a certain extent, whether that's sculpted, artisan, or maybe both. So I think Hot Toys is doing that move where they're like, here's maybe the movie that people want slightly less. Get them locked in on this one, because they're gonna give us another Thor from the film that you may want it more from. That maybe for you more definitive. To me, it is more definitive. I loved Age of Ultron. It was still a great film to me, but like I wouldn't necessarily want to collect from this movie. I don't know if I could like it, loved it that much. I'd rather have the Avengers display when they first line up all together, you know, in the street there of New York City. I think that's the look I'd rather go after those 2.0s on. So I think this looks, I do think this looks great. I do see Chris Hemsworth here. I think the ability to paint these things now is getting to be pretty amazing. Like when you look at some of these, you know, previous photos, like we just showed 6-Scale Treasures comparison photos, and you know, figures from 10 years ago look like plastic toys now in comparison to these super hyper realistic paint applications. It's freaking insane. But yeah, Viking Collectible says, just like Indy, they're getting the one out of the way first, trying to get us to buy this first, and then they're going to continue to give us others that may end up being more definitive. So if this isn't your movie, or if this isn't the one for your display, I'd say wait, because there's no way they put the money in R&D into this to not.
I will
give us
wait.
more.
Thank you, Ben.
Really good take, Ben.
You can wait.
Oh my, the rivalry is already starting, guys. The battle's not, you know, hasn't started yet, but you guys are already bickering. I'm excited for that Q&A rebuttal section. We haven't had a really strong rebuttal section. A lot of you guys are too polite, so you know, oh, you know, yours was really.
She was
good.
practicing
Yours was
punches
really
at the
good.
gym.
Because you haven't had me in the panel, that's why.
There you go.
Oh man, Marco, did you have some thoughts on this story? Are you gonna go for it?
We have spies in the chat, so I'm not going to say, but
Oh,
really good take, Ben. I agree with that. So I think that's the only thing that's giving me pause, because I do like the likeness. I'm a big fan of Age of Ultron. I remember watching that film and like really loving it. And I get it's not perfect, but like it gave me everything that I really wanted in an Avengers film. So I feel like very nostalgic for that era. But yeah, we're going to get another rooted Hemsworth in the future. It's just a matter of time. So if this isn't the look, then, you know, one should just hold out for the look that they want. So that's why I'm on the fence. But yeah, damn, would be really nice to pair with that Iron Man.
Also, this Avengers logo looks like it says it's the ass of Ultron, just at least on my screen here. So that's making me pause a little bit.
I think you downloaded the wrong one, Ben.
Yeah, it's a Ultron.
Yeah, definitely.
You're watching the wrong movie.
You see, we won, Ben.
Yeah, all right. Wow, those seamless arms. Holy cow.
Holy shit.
That's hilarious. Oh gosh, Feezy, what do you think about this Thor?
No, I personally think it looks good. I haven't broke it down yet, but no, just based on what I'm seeing so far, I think it looks good. I mean, again, not a surprise, right? Because a lot of collectors were thinking that Hot Toys would kind of come back to this and do a rooted Thor, myself included. But yeah, it looks good. I already have the Love and Thunder one, and I'm cool with that one. You know, the sculpts one with the deluxe one with the interchangeable arms. So I thought that was cool. I like the blue, I like how it pops and the colors on that one. So I'm personally good with that one. But yeah, for those who were hoping and waiting out that they would actually do an artisan Thor, yeah, shout out to you guys, because well, for one, hopefully if you're able to get it right tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, Monday 9 a.m. Pacific time is when it goes up. So hopefully you're able to get it. But you know, I think it looks good. It's just hopefully the final comes out looking like this. I'm always kind of more as far as like versions. I know we were talking about Iron Man. That seems, you know, more like a possibility. Hot Toys can come out with updates. Like other characters, you know, depending on how popular they are, it's always a gamble, right? Because there's always no guarantee. Like, yeah, the likelihood of a character being made again or updated, that's always there, right? But it's like not a guarantee. So I kind of usually go more on the conservative side just in case, because I'm more of like, okay, damn, well, if I don't get this, then you know, what happens if they don't come up with another one? Now I'll have to, like, especially for an artisan, right? You know, because artisans, they've been selling out. I don't think there's an artisan that's, I mean, there's some that sat for a while, but I think eventually they all sell out, right? I don't think there's an artisan that sat for a length of time. So yeah, I personally kind of would take more of like, damn, I don't know. I lean more conservative and play it on the safe side for a character I want, anyways, for a figure that I want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of, you know, I have a very similar feeling in regards to this specific Age of Ultron Thor, because I'm like, I did enjoy the movie, but I don't know necessarily if this would be the one that I would want. Like, I think the Avengers one would be the top one, and then I would even probably take the Thor, like from the original film Thor version as well, then this one. But this one's really well made, and again, I do see the hairline doesn't look crazy, which is always one of the things to worry about with the artisans. I think the likeness is okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 100%. So Vita, don't feel like you're the only one that's questioning it. I don't think it's 100%, but I do see it. And again, based on the previous versions we've seen throughout the years of Chris Hemsworth, I do think this is a nice step forward when it comes to the likeness in regards to this one. So, Jim, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree here?
I mean, I think this head sculpt's a huge improvement over what we've seen in the past, and I think it's a really strong likeness. The likeness debate I actually think is quite interesting, because 9 times out of 10, if you get any figure sculpt, even like a really good one, like for example the Hugh Jackman, the yellow blue suit Wolverine, if you put that actual head sculpt and like compare it side by side with a picture of Hugh Jackman himself, you start to notice all the different flaws in the sculpt, and it's really like dependent. The big issue with head sculpts is obviously they're not made of real skin, so as you kind of move your head in real life, like you know, the loose bits of skin around your face, it changes, it warps, it kind of changes your look a little bit, and you don't get that with head sculpt. So I think even some of the best sculpts out there are never going to be 10 out of 10 or 100% likenesses, are they? And I think that's always the issue. It's just about getting it as close to looking like the real person from every angle as possible, and I think so far this has done it. Now Vita's really good for like details, so she'll point out issues. So for example, the Black Widow, I was like, yeah, that's a really good sculpt. I like everyone, it looked great. And Vita was like, no, that's a really bad sculpt. It's so bad. Oh, wow. And then she's like, oh, she just wore me down on it with like all these different reasons why. And now it got to the point I'm like, yep, her nose is too bulbous, her forehead's too big, the face shape's not right. This is a really bad sculpt. So I've sold it now. I'm just like, I'm getting rid of this. This is terrible. And doing the same thing to Snape as well. I was like, Snape is a really good likeness. And she's like, no, it's bad based on this, this, and this. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can kind of see what you mean. And I think she has an agenda here to secretly get me to sell loads of my figures.
Oh,
so you could work on the wedding budget. That's what I think her game plan is here.
Ulterior motives.
There you go.
Is that a bad thing?
I think so.
Damn
no,
it.
it's not. It's probably a good thing. It'll go on the honeymoon. But for the figure itself, I think it's really good. The
Guys,
Marco
it's
as well,
only
I
so
love
I can invite you all in the wedding. That's all.
Yes, exactly that. So you can all fly on over. But
if you
no,
buy a
I
figure,
really liked
you get
it
an
as well,
invitation to the wedding. Is the new deal? I heard.
That'll you give the list of gifts. It'll be like it'll be this for.
I was gonna
the
say
Black Widow.
Your wedding list.
No Black Widow, thank you.
Exactly. But no, I think the figure looks good. I really enjoyed this film. I just love the scene in Avengers Tower before everything goes to hell, where they're having that kind of chat and drinks and stuff. I love that scene. I wish we got to see more of that in different Avengers films, where they're trying to lift up Thor's hammer. That was a great scene. It always stands out for me. But
boom.
Yeah,
You looking
I
for
think the
this?
figure looks solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But no. I think the head's a bit off. Is the only thing I would say stand out. It's a bit too perfect. I think for me, it just kind of looks a bit too obvious. But other than that, yeah, I think this is solid.
Good takes, Jim. Can I check in with the chat really quickly as well,
please.
Jose? All right, so really quickly, just wanted to say, Big Rib saying my wife would love this Thor. Let's see, Vita saying I am once again alone in my opinions. No, Vita's not wrong, but yeah, definitely on the other side, on the minority on this one. Harrison is saying the longest artisan is between Ballerina and Higgs. Yeah, okay, that's a good call. Those ones sat for a little bit, but they still get snatched up eventually. Will, thanks for joining, man.
Hey, Will.
I like it, but I get why someone would say it's slightly off. 9 out of 10, but still the best we've gotten. There'll be a better one coming later. Yeah, that's really the struggle, right? It's like it is really strong. I think just like this Anakin as well, like you could see there might be a degradation from the prototype to the final, and maybe they make some adjustments. I think it's still going to look incredible on the shelf, but it's not going to be the last time you're going to have that ability to get one. And then Fig Poser is saying, I need a Mark 7 USB. It's coming. It is probably the next one they would do, I would say.
Don't say it, Fig Poser, because I don't want to have to sell my Mark 7 for an upgrade.
That's all right, Ben. You don't have to. You just get Modja cases at that time. You'll rock one with the head sculpt on, one with the mask on. It'll be or helmet on, excuse me. It'll be perfect.
That's fair. I can see it.
Yeah.
Or turn this one into the torpedo version, because I've never actually tried to transition it into the the torpedo piece thing. So yeah, maybe that.
There you go.
I'm just gonna point out that you can tell that Marco has been in a long-term relationship because he said Vita's not wrong. She's just a minority with her opinion. Well done,
What a
Marco.
unique way to look at things. You know, what a valid, what a valid take that I wholeheartedly disagree with. But no, I'm kidding. No, that's like Ben said. That's
very well said. Well done.
That's what, like Ben said, that's the fun part about this hobby. It is art. It is like very subjective. So it's fun to talk, as we have differences of opinions. But that Black Widow is so beautiful. Like, interesting to think someone might not see the likeness there. Just interesting.
No, that Black Widow is terrible. Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible.
Okay,
I should pull out my 2007 Black Widow from Civil War and see what you think about that.
Is that the blonde?
That's not a hot take.
I don't even
That's
want
an
to see
atomic
that.
take.
Civil War.
That's right.
Yeah, listen, there was a guy on Instagram. He actually redid the pose of Black Widow, and he put a picture side by side, and that just finalized my opinion on it, how disproportionate the body is, the body shape, specific body parts, how
you got a really valid take on, because she needs better hips. The hips are so flat on that one.
Hips, chest. Why she looks like a hunchback all the time? Something is wrong in this area.
It's the hair. The hair covers the neck so much. Is a big reason.
The neck feels like it's a bit too short or something. It's just no, and the eyes are too big. Yes, she has big, beautiful eyes, and they're lovely, but it's just something is wrong on the figure. It just looks like the bug eyes basically always wide open and like, I'm ready to kill, like a bit, you know, on cocaine all the time. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's not the one for me. At first, like I really thought I would like it, but I really thought I would like the figure, to be honest. Like I really wanted to like the figure, but just no.
Well, you heard it here first. You can buy Jim's copy and also get a free ticket
to you can. It's
Jim
on
and
eBay
Vita's
now.
wedding.
There you go.
Perfect.
It's actually sold already, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Whoops.
If you offer more.
There you go. Double retail and it's all yours.
I also just realized you guys are in the same room. It tripped me out because I was like, I didn't know you guys had 2 collection rooms. That's dope.
Yeah, no, the same room.
There you go. Love to see it. Yeah. There was a time where Marco and we had cabinets that almost lined up when we'd be on Collecting Weekly, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah,
very close.
We almost merged into one person at that time.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys, we have a few more things to talk about. My final thoughts. Adam, do you have any thoughts on Thor?
I think it's a home run. You know, when this came out, a lot of people talked about, well, it's inevitable that they're going to have Avengers 1, maybe the first Thor movie. I think that's all very true. So what I did is I didn't spend a lot of time doing this, but I just Googled to see what is Thor's outfit look like from the first Avengers, because is it that markedly different from Age of Ultron? And I really couldn't see a major difference between the two. You know, as opposed to, I think, like some of the Iron Man suits or certainly Captain America's outfits, there is some difference. So just on not spending more than like 2 minutes looking at it, to be fair, I didn't really see a major difference. And I have been wanting an artisan Thor. I do have I'm not gonna call him Fat Thor because, you know, as an overweight guy, I'd say he's a chubby Thor in that one.
Chubby Thor is exactly right.
He was hitting the junk food a little too much in the 5 years after the snap. So I think that's actually a pretty solid figure, but I did want a more classic Thor. I think this looks great. I think the options of having the silicone arms swap out is a great one. I plan on picking this up, but you know, yeah, I think it's been said, this is, if you want to wait, it'll be coming out soon, but this is good enough for me.
Yeah, no. And Gio, lastly but not least, do you have any thoughts on Thor? Are you picking this up? Are you jumping in the queue for me? What are you doing?
For you, all right. I'm not gonna pick this up. I don't really collect that many Marvel characters, with certain exceptions. So I do think this looks good. I do think this is the best Chris Hemsworth Thor head sculpt that we've seen so far. I'm sure we'll get other ones that you guys have been talking about. I did think that they were gonna do the first Avengers film, not Age of Ultron, but they decided to go that route. And do you guys remember if he had the helmet in this film? You know how he had it in the first Thor movie?
I don't think he ever wore it in this film, from what I recall.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I thought maybe we'll see like the helmet, with that one too. But yeah, Artisan Thor, that was like a foregone conclusion. It's just a matter of like which version are we gonna get? But that was gonna happen. I'm sure they'll do a Hulk. I'm sure they'll do all the Avengers like you guys were talking about. And I think maybe Vita would change her mind if they had cast Henry Cavill as Thor. Maybe that would have been a different situation there. But yeah,
depending on the likeness.
Oh, I guess so, right?
Gio, that's a really good point though, in terms of like the helmet version, because we already saw with the bank robber Joker that they would give us 2 sculpts that are rooted. I could see maybe a reality where they give us a helmeted version that has the hair poking through the back. So that's a really interesting take.
Yep. But yeah, that was it for me for this Artisan Thor. But yeah.
Earth to Jose, are you there?
Yes. Sorry, I'm
operating real slow, big dog. Go get some coffee and I can hold it down if you want.
No, I'm trying to do like 3-4 different things. I'm getting the poll ready. I'm getting the other next figure ready.
If only you had help, but I'm just here to talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's all good.
The poll ready.
Yeah, we
I'm
have
dying with anticipation of this competition.
Yes.
Forgot everything I was going to say on this pitch.
Oh,
man.
Very good.
Very good.
Before we get into all that, we have a couple more things. We'll try to breeze through these guys. So if you guys don't want to speak about them, just let me know, Ben style, in the private chat, and we can skip you on this particular take. I want to bring this one up. This one is Ben style. Yeah. Ben, well, I mean, you learn from your mentors, right? So here we go. Here we go. Let's see. And there. Okay. This Captain America was released. This one is from the Winter Soldier. Guys, now this Winter Soldier one is the 2.0. Again, obviously, there was an original version when it originally released. I'm assuming this was close to the release of the film back at 2015 or so. I'm assuming. I don't remember the exact date. This one, I've heard some controversy around the head sculpt. I've heard some people say they really like it, that it looks pretty good, and I've heard people say that it looks nothing like Chris Evans. Obviously, there's always two sides of the spectrum on this one. I was wondering where you guys fell on this Captain America. Anyone actually gonna buy this version, or do one of you guys have the 1.0 and are skipping on this one? Anyone who wants to jump in and raise your hand, say something. Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, I have the 1.0 coming. I waited on this. I missed the went to waitlist because I wanted to see. I do have the 1.0, but Cap's my favorite character from Marvel, and I have the 1.0 with it's the 2-pack where he's in the mask, then it's a separate figure in the jeans and the jacket, and I think it's a good figure. But I've wanted one where he can be in his outfit with the Chris Evans head sculpt. So I did not pre-order this. I waited to see. And then after the blogger photos, and a shout out to Zord Photography, he did his usual masterpiece job in photos. And I watched Figure Hideout's video. Yeah, I think this looks fantastic. I think this is the best Chris Evans head sculpt to date. So I pulled the trigger yesterday. I'm getting it from Toys Buying Agent. Should be coming next week. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's a great figure. Now, apparently, if Figures Hideout says it's basically the same body as some of the other Captain America figures, I'm not like a proportions person. I know people like the proportions are off, proportions this. I don't have an eye for that. So. Yeah, it looks good to me, but I do think this head sculpt is the best they've done. So I definitely, I know some people don't see the resemblance. I see this as Chris Evans, all day long.
Yeah, you could do all this all day, Adam?
I could do this all day long, absolutely.
Perfect. All right. So it seems like most of you guys are skipping on this one. A lot of you guys, again, feel strongly about the head sculpt. Some of you guys feel like, again, this was what I was seeing in the community. A lot of you guys were saying that you guys don't think it looks like Chris Evans. I still think that they haven't fully nailed it. I'd have to see this one a little closer. I didn't watch those videos you were mentioning, Adam, so maybe my opinion would change. I just didn't really care about this version, even though I really love the Winter Soldier. Like, I have a poster hanging of the Winter Soldier in my room right now, so I love that film. But this suit in particular is one that I've never been trying to chase, even though I really like it. I do like the sleek, soft look of this version. But yeah, it looks like
Jose, I can share my friend's comparison shots again if you want.
Of course. Yes.
Just super quick, just for the audience, if anything, because I hate to say something doesn't necessarily look like somebody if it like, again, shout out 6 Scale Treasures, follow him on Instagram for great comparison shots. This is one for the new figure, so again, like, I see him in there to a certain extent, but like, I still feel like they just haven't, like, Vita said Botox on Tony Stark there earlier, and I'm like, yeah, I can get that. Vita, my apologies, I gotta get that right. I keep messing that up. But yeah, even like, I think even like, I don't know, it's not quite there. This is the 1.0 versus the 2.0, so I mean, huge still improvements over the 1.0, right?
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. That's insane. That is insane difference. And again, if this is one of your favorite looks, like this is an awesome scene in the film, right? And just how far technology has come in terms of paint application is insane. But I still don't love it, if I'm honest. Pretty big difference from the prototype. I do actually think he looks more like Chris Evans in the final than the prototype. His prototype version was a lot more like filled out in the face, whereas at least they get his jaw structure a little bit better, bone structure in and around his cheeks. So I think that does look a little bit better, but overall, great comparisons. But I feel like they just haven't been able to capture the handsomeness of Chris Evans, you know, like there's something kind of off about it. So
yeah,
see, like in that one, like you can see that the face shape is off. So like the figure has more like square face, where like if you look at Chris Evans himself, like it's more rectangle shape. Can't even speak. But yeah, I agree with Ben. They didn't capture the handsomeness of the man.
Which is hard to do. I've had the same criticism of beautiful women figures, right? Where it's like sometimes they just can't quite capture like the beauty. It's like Hot Toys can really dial in likeness when it comes to like aged faces, where there's lots of age lines to capture. Some of those look amazing, but when it's like really soft features, they're still they're still doing better and better every single year. But definitely some improvements, and that's one of the reasons I always say, like, you know, I'm a very straight man, but I have always thought Chris Hemsworth was a beautiful dude, and I'm like, they've never captured that guy's freaking likeness for me. I'm like, you know, so. But,
careful now, he's married, eh? He's married.
Well, careful, you know, man. That's fair. That's fair. 1.0 though versus the like. That's crazy.
I know, man, it is crazy.
That's crazy.
But I remember when that released, and people were like, "This is so awesome! Look at everything you get." And then when Adam, when you were talking about it, about how you get the civilian look and all that, I'm like, that was a really great package deal. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, is it flawed? Yeah, is it dated? Yeah, but the package deal you got on that was awesome.
And what I did with my civilian Steve Rogers, I'm using the head sculpt that came with the Endgame cap, because I have his helmet on for Endgame cap, and just replaced it. It's an instant upgrade right there for the head sculpt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to do things. I do that from time to time on my older figures. Don't have too many of them, but yeah, that's definitely an option. We're going to move on, guys, just for the sake of time. I'm going to bring this one. I'm excited about this one, about the potential of what this means. Not necessarily this particular figure, but the potential. And let's see. Let me pull it up here. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts. Does this mean something that we're getting more from this line, Pirates of the Caribbean? Are we going to see possibly some of the other characters, Davy Jones, maybe? What are we thinking?
No, Elizabeth Swan is coming. You guys didn't know, but they took my pitch. They're like, she's a winner, so we're taking it. But it's a secret. It's a secret reveal now for you guys. And on the
Ooh, all right. And this chair is truly exceptional. I think those who love the chairs, it's really cool accessory.
Except that it's not included in
doesn't
the
love a good chair.
It's not. Oh my goodness!
That they did not include this crazy work.
I thought it did too, but nope.
No, it's not included. At least not in what they've given us so far. Are they going to give us an artisan version with the chair? Like maybe, but as of right now, no. It's this other figure base that you're seeing here with the skulls. That's what's included. So diabolical.
I didn't dive that deep. I just saw it and I was like, this is cool, but I'm like, I wouldn't want this version because it seems like such a unique scene specific,
Yes.
So I was like, I wasn't sure. I'm like, not this, but I was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, but they're making more, right? Like I got excited about it because I was like, oh, they're making more from this line. Does this mean they're making more characters? And so I was like, I got excited about the potential.
I think they'll do Davy Jones from the same movie. It's been a while since they did Davy Jones, right?
Yeah, a very long time. It's considered one of the very few grails. Yeah, so I would love for them to do it. If not, we do have that third party who just did the Fizi, the third party who did it.
They did the Barbosa.
They did Barbosa. Yeah, that one. So maybe they'll do it because I've heard rumors. Fizi, maybe you'll know a little bit more. I've heard rumors about how they tease certain things, right? About more from that line. So if they don't, if Hot Toys doesn't pick up the slack, they might. Is that correct, Fizi? Did you hear something similar?
I didn't hear that, no. So, but I mean, not to say you're wrong. I just haven't heard it, so you might be right. I just haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. Does anybody have a take on this Jack Sparrow?
I made a video on this. It's the worst performing video the Ben Thomas Show has ever had. Ever. It's the worst performing video. I feel like the love for this is diminished. I think this is too close to the last release, right? That came out. If everybody just got that Jack Sparrow, you have to freaking love Pirates of the Caribbean, in my opinion, to consider getting another figure this close to the other one. Especially with, I think, reuse of the face. It's obviously been repainted, but it looks like the same expression, at least for one of the sculpts, which I think is wild. I think I mean, I hate when Hot Toys shows an accessory that's not included, you know, in their figure promo photos. I think that's messed up. Like again, if you don't take the extra just 30 seconds to know better, that might be something you get excited about and then feel immediately disappointed by, which I think is crazy. Obviously, you don't get the Captain Jack Sparrow cool captain's hat. You don't get his like pirate coat that comes with this figure. But the outfit itself is very much what we already have if you have that other figure. So like you nailed it, Jose, when you said scene specific, like very, very much so. But as a result, to me, one of my favorite parts of that specific scene, if you remember the film, is when he's getting chased away by the group of the group, I want to say native folks, but I'm not sure like what it would have been, but like the group of people that are chasing him, and he's running through the water and he's doing his Jack Sparrow run and he's got the wild face. Like, to have this head sculpt feels kind of boring for that scene. I think they should have included a second, if anything. So it does look cool. The paint apps are great. This is technically a 2.0. The first version of this figure was pretty rough. it's old looking, very, very old looking. So when we had this night the other night where I said it was the age of redos, it is. I mean, everything we saw the other night was at least a 2.0, which is wild. So this is a skip for me all day long. But I mean, again, for the couple of folks that watched my video, there were a few people that said they're a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan and they'd still consider getting this in their display. But remains to be seen. I do think that there were other characters from the film that people would have wanted more, that we shouldn't wait for a third party to do. Like if Hot Toys, I feel like, was keeping more of a paying more attention, they'd give us some of those other characters, but we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. But before we move on, we have another guest. He came through. He is here. Sal the Collector is here. Sal, you're back. You're back on Muscle Menos. A new Muscle Menos original. Sal the Collector. Sal, glad you could join us. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I was running around this morning doing adult things. So
it's okay.
Yeah, sorry,
okay. No worry. I'm glad you could join.
Sparrow
Jack Sparrow,
yeah,
right? Yeah, absolutely.
Minus the makeup.
5 miles.
That's right.
Sal, since we're on you, do you have any take on this Jack Sparrow?
Not really. I passed on the first one, and first one being the one before this. But yeah, I mean, I'm to be fair, like I love this movie, right? I love Dead Man's Chest, but arguably this is probably like one of the worst scenes in the movie, or like one of the ones that people are just kind of like, that's a little too camp, or it's a little too much. I'm just not really interested in having like this particular like scene in the collection, but I'm excited because it definitely points towards maybe some other characters from this film. So that's like kind of what I'm holding out hope for, kind of what like I'm looking forward to is some of those, because it has been a long time. I think the other figures from this movie are in the double digits as far as like the MMS numbers go. So, I mean, we've been needing 2.0s from here for a long time. So, yeah, it's also like, usually for people like curating and stuff, they want to make sure that they're getting the definitive version of the character, and I just don't think this one's it.
Yep. Yeah, 100% with you. Yeah, it's definitely not the definitive. It's definitely more aimed for the collectors that really love this franchise and would want this specific figure. But yeah, I even thought about it too, because I was like, I don't know if the outfit's different from the one that released, and maybe they might want a separate outfit. And because you do have the alternative sculpt, the clean one without the face paint, with the previous release, I mean, maybe they might want to be like, oh, maybe I can switch it and I can get a clean version from this movie as well. That's how I thought some collectors might think, but I'm not sure. All right, guys, any further thoughts on Jack Sparrow before we move on? It's time to get into all the main and greedy details here of the Shark Tank. We ready?
Nope.
I think we're ready. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. First, I'm gonna bring up these details here for you guys. So I know you guys are aware, but again, the tournaments are occurring, and again, the specifics of the tournaments I've laid out for you guys previously, but just as a quick reminder, again, I'll skim through these pretty quickly. But again, it is two separate tournaments, the Redemption and the Robert Burns Champions Tournament. Again, we have both concurrent tournaments happening at the same time. Again, a chance for victors of the past battles to go one-on-one with each other, winners against winners. And then we have the Redemption Tournament, a second chance at glory. The runner-ups will rise again. Again, there's one tournament happening with the Redemption Tournament. Again, there will be a champion on that side. There'll be a champion on the champion's side. And ultimately, they will go one-on-one for the ultimate grand prize. The good thing is that if you win your respective tournament, whether it's the Robert Burns Champions or the Redemption Second Chance Tournament, you will already get a specific prize, which is a $50 USD to your favorite, collecting website, whether that's Sideshow or any other, for our international folks, any other website that you would like. And then again, once you win, you'd get an additional $50, and that would be your grand prize for the Champion of Champions. So the way that it's been operating, again, the difference between these pitches and the tournament, and then again, now the audience is ruling in what you are pitching. So they have a say. Now, it's no longer free choice. Again, before you would have the choice to pitch whatever you wanted, but that has now changed. Now the audience is picking from a certain categories that I will show you. And then again, usually these categories are like actors and actresses, genres, film and TV eras, specific eras, directors. And again, we sometimes will lean on strengths from the people that are pitching, and sometimes we'll lean on some weaknesses. And that's kind of how it operates. So guys, one of the reasons I'm explaining this is because our upcoming battle, which our three competitors are here. So it's going to be another triple threat. Sal, you were in the original triple threat in the last episode, and you did so well. You lost by basically one vote, it looked like, and it was so close to the last minute. We had to wait for someone else to vote for the percentage to slide to Fig Poser. And I reached out to my guys, Feezy and Adam, and I was like, look, my guy here, he did such a great job. Let's go ahead and give him a chance in the Redemption Tournament. But I wanted to get the okay. Feezy and Adam, you were gracious enough to let Sal join. And as you can see here, he's on his way. He's on the way riding this shark. Guys.
That photo's wild.
Come on, shark. Invisible grip handles.
Are you guys excited to see what the audience is going to choose for your theme?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, this should be based on the categories, man. It's definitely going to bring an interesting aspect to it. So, but either way, let's see what you guys pick.
They're all good.
Hell yeah. Okay, let's see.
And welcome, Sal, to the competition.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys being gracious enough to allow him. And again, originally the triple threat wildcard round was just for with a specific champion of that matchup to go into the Champions Tournament. But again, because it was so close, I just felt like Sal, he had done such an excellent presentation. If you guys did not see his presentation, it was truly epic. And again, it was so close. It was so close that I was like, Sal, I think we can get you in the Redemption Tournament. And he was like, well, let's ask somebody else, because I had to let someone else allow him into the matchups because the matchups are already set. So I appreciate you guys allowing him to do so. So guys, these are our categories. We got 1980s films. We got sports figures. We got Samuel L. Jackson films and superhero films before 2005. And I'm calling it like before Christ. I'm calling it before Nolan. So before Nolan came out with the Dark Knight trilogy, these are the superhero films that existed. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll right now. It's going to be, here it is. Okay, perfect. And I think I have it set up. Okay.
And which stream will that be?
It will be on mine if I can get it to work. If not, Marco might need to jump in there and do something. But give me 1 second. I had thought I had set it up, and why does it not let me click? Hold on. Must contain 1 of 3. Wait, what does that say? Oh, it's saying something about must contain between 1 and 35 characters. Is that too many? Is that maybe I'm putting too many?
Yeah, probably too many.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. Oh, okay. Let me just fix it then. There it is. Okay.
So while you're doing that clarification on the, so anytime before 2005, or do you have like a minimum, like a latest range that we need to go back to if that one was chosen?
I mean, no. If you want to go way, way back to Christopher Reeve, as you see there in the image, you can go as far back as that. You got Keaton, you got Blade, you got Halle Berry's Catwoman in 04. You got Ang Lee's 80s. Yeah, anything. 80s films you can, as long as it's so 80s is from from the first film that released in the January of 1980 to the last film that released in December of 1980.
Mystery Man.
So you have the so you could do whatever you'd like from 1980s. And again, sports figures, you can go from any of these leagues. I would actually allow also if you wanted to do a sports figure from a film, that's also allowed. So if you'd like to do it, something like that, that's definitely an option. For Samuel L. Jackson, me and Sal were talking about this specifically. You don't have to do Samuel L. Jackson specifically. You can do a film he was in. However, if you want to do the Samuel L. Jackson for Avengers, it would have to be Nick Fury. So we know doing Hulk or whatever. It's like that. We don't need that. They're going to do that anyways. So if you want to do Avengers, it would have to be either a supporting character from the Avengers or Nick Fury. It wouldn't be like the main role.
I think it should be Sam Jackson versus Sam Jackson. How do you pitch against the same character?
So you don't have to a Mace Windu 2.0. You could do something from one of the prequels.
That's correct. Yeah.
Makes on a plane.
As long as he's in it. Yeah. As long as he's in it. So the poll has officially launched, guys. It is on my channel. I'm going to go ahead and share the link to my channel. So if you're just watching it on Marco's, you'll need to go to mine to go ahead and place your vote. So go ahead and do so now. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link right now for you guys. And should be there in the chat for you guys. So go ahead and click on that one if you're on Marco's channel. And again, before on your way out, if you are on Marco's channel, hit the like button before you go. That way Marco gets a couple likes on there as well. And before you go and vote. So let's go ahead and start casting our votes. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this poll on while we're doing the King Shark Tank. Okay, so we'll do the King Shark Tank. Then we'll go ahead and conclude that. We'll get into feedback and questions we have and rebuttal, and then the final results, and that will be our show. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, I just put this in the chat, but are we able to vote too?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yes. Okay. Great question. Sorry, I missed your question, but yes, absolutely. Guys, bust out those burners, especially the guys that are competing. Wow. Go ask your mom, your sister, your grandpa, your grandma, whoever you want to ask, your significant other, your Sancha, your girl on the side, whatever,
your Sancha.
Whatever you want to.
Okay, since this is Maso Menos, you got to explain what that is.
Sancha. It basically means your girl on the side. You know what I mean?
What's a ruka? What's that?
That's like your mom or your older lady, your old lady.
Your old lady. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So absolutely go ahead and do so now. Early on, let's see. Why did I know that this would be popular? 1980s films is right now winning with 73%. Well, I think that might be it, but we still have only 12 votes now.
I voted for sports figures. That's what I'm pushing for.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll make sure to put in my vote as well. But yeah, these are our categories. Again, we'll come back to them in just one moment after the pitches. All right, guys, we didn't discuss who would go first, so I'll let you guys think about it. But again, it is time.
Ben.
It's time. Ben will go first. Ben, are you okay with that?
I don't know. I think the chat should decide if I'm honest. I feel like
how many burners do you have out there, then?
I think last can be an advantage, but I don't know. Maybe first can be an advantage. It's hard to say.
Guys, if you guys have a preference, I already have a poll on, so I can't do another poll. But if you have a preference and you want to say Ben or Vita in the chat, please go ahead and do so now.
I say Ben goes. You know what? Vita, it's her
go
day.
ahead, say it in the chat. Say in the chat.
Ben goes. But yeah, tell us in the chat.
tell us in the chat, guys.
I've
guys.
always subscribed to ladies first, but you know. Like...
I don't mind. Yeah. I can't
flip a coin.
Ooh,
flip a
can
coin.
someone flip a coin? But then how can we trust it? He's like, Adam's like, I'll bust out my quarter, and then he flips it, and he's like, which one was it?
I'll go first if you guys want, but we can see what the chat says.
Harrison says, Ben, go first. We got one person saying it so far. So while we wait, I'll have someone read the disclaimer. Again, very important aspect of what this pitch has evolved to. This pitch game has evolved to. So I would like for one of you guys to read this. Adam, you have a great voice.
Sure.
Adam, could you read this for me?
Okay. Gentleman, gentlewoman, here is a disclaimer for Jose Plus. By agreeing to your pitches, you agree to this. So please, disclaimer, by participating in this figure pitch game, you acknowledge and agree that any pitch, idea, or concept presented during the competition is provided freely and without expectation of compensation or further involvement. You understand by submitting your pitch, you renounce any and all rights, claims, or ownership of the content presented. You further agree that the pitch and related ideas are now considered fair game for use by said companies and or any associated parties without legal obligation. By continuing with your participation, you consent to these terms and waive any legal rights or claims to compensation regarding the use of your pitch. So say you all.
Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate you taking the time to go ahead and read that. Again, just a disclaimer, just so you guys know, if you see one of these companies producing something and it happened to do something that, you originally pitched on this show, unfortunately, again, you can go and say, hey, I need some compensation. Again, you are providing these ideas free of charge. So, all right, guys, I think it's time, guys. I think it is time. But before we do so, there's an excellent video I want to show you guys just to get us pumped up for this battle. Let me go ahead and bring this up right now. Where is it? Oh my gosh, sorry. I was not ready. There it is. Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Short side
Hell
that time.
Hell yeah. And let me just go over just one more time as a reminder, guys. This is what we're expecting from the pitches, guys. Just again, how's it going down? It's like the TV show, but with a twist. 2 competitors or sometimes 3 must state which company they are pitching to. Again, so make sure you guys let us know early on if you're pitching to Hot Toys, A&R, Jazz Inc., JD, Costed Plastic, whatever. So we put those caps on and we try to think about it from their perspective. Panelists will represent said company that your competitor chooses. So again, we'll judge accordingly. So just knowing what they have in mind and kind of what they usually do or what products they have. So again, make sure you guys, we will be doing a timer 5-minute pitch. If you do go over, we do allow a grace. Now we've had pitches that go overboard. Shout out to Hot Toys Hotline, who almost did a 10-minute pitch. So let's try not to do that.
Holy crap.
All right. So let's try not to. I will allow a grace period, but let's go for like a minute or 2 if you need it. So again, don't feel rushed. If you start hear the ringing, again, I'll stop and I'll give you a little extra time if you need it. Okay. Once both competitors have pitched, again, this is after, not in the middle, after both competitors have pitched. Then at that point, we'll have our quick Q&A and rebuttal opportunity for you guys. And please, guys, let's try not to play too nice. This is something I've been noticing a pattern. Guys, I know you guys respect your peers here, but please go ahead and attack their presentation. If they miss something,
damn,
them to shred. Yeah, guys, like a shark.
Claws out.
If you think that your pitch is significantly better, or even slightly better, make that an emphasis in your rebuttal section, because I do see that how votes could sway your way if you do so. So make sure you do so. Again, lastly, guys, the votes from the panel and the live chat will determine the winner. So again, after we're done with the rebuttal section, I'll go through all our special guest judges. I'll have you guys go ahead and share who you're voting for. We'll check the final results with the poll, and that will be our show. Any questions? All right, cool. All right, guys. So let's see. Let's check in the chat. Did anybody else comment on who should go first? Let's see. Did anybody say Ben, rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, whoa. Hello now.
Don't clip that.
Hello. Hello. He's like, yeah. Sal says, I was summoned, bro, and now I'm ready to start. The comeback is real. Oh my goodness. This is my dog reincarnated as LL Cool J on the Deep Blue Sea. Well, Ben, it looks like only one person voted here and said you, so I think
I guess it's me. Hate to see it. There you go. I'll go. That's fine. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Whenever you're ready. Can I have someone else do the timer so that way I'm not worried about that? Anyone that's willing to do it?
I've got a timer as well. I was going to time myself, so like if that helps.
No one time me, thank you.
Yeah, I can keep time. I got my phone here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Perfect. If you can bring up my slides there, Jose, when
I
you
will.
have a moment.
Yeah, I will definitely do so. All right, Feezy. As soon as you let him know that you started this timer, he can begin. Okay, let me go ahead and bring it up and start that timer.
And starting.
Thank you so much for letting me present to you folks today. The esteemed Shark Tank panel back again. I'm really pleased to be presenting to you guys today. I want to show you my pitch for Hot Toys, the company, this afternoon of my choosing, because I feel that there is a noticeable gap that I think after my presentation today, you will feel confident that we can close that gap together and partner for our future in terms of 6-scale offerings. So as you can see here, I am presenting to Hot Toys, and there's some teases here for you guys today, so bear with me. I want to present the character today of Beatrix Kiddo from Kill Bill Volume 1. This character for me has resonated for years. I have loved these set of films for as long as they've been out. Quentin Tarantino, badass director, but let's be honest, Uma Thurman is an absolute superstar when it comes to Beatrix. Her story, the catharsis that she goes through, revenge, through to, love for her daughter, and all of the crazy, violence, but also just, badass action scenes. For me, I've always wanted to have in terms of collectibles with regards to 6-scale offerings. Now, let's be honest, there's been other companies so far that have not done this character very much justice. I present to you what we've seen from the past already. You see Play Toys here on the left. That does not look like Uma Thurman to me. I don't know about you guys. And of course, Star Ace on the right-hand side, which they did a little bit better than Play Toys, let's be honest, but still not truly capturing the magic of Beatrix, in my opinion, at 6-scale. And I think that this is a gap. So I present to you guys the first standard edition for Hot Toys of Artisan option. So standard Artisan edition. I want to highlight here, Artisan so far, the collector community has been asking for upgraded materials, from the get-go. Now, there's this kind of concept that Artisan is only a rooted hairline. I think it can be a little bit more. I think it can be a little bit more premium than what we've seen so far. And this might be the figure that gets us to that next level. Let's look at some of the accessories first, and then we'll talk about the likeness to Uma, because as you can see, way better than the predecessor figures, of course. We've got the die-cast weaponry, of course, notably that Hanzo sword set with some blood effects on there. We've got Cash in there. We've got her suitcase from when she's getting out of her vehicle, ready, for battle against the Crazy Eight gang. That's so awesome to me. And of course, lots of different hands available. Now, you've seen pricing pretty consistently for Artisan line in that 385 range. I wanted to do my homework for you guys on the panel so you didn't have to go back yourself. 385 seems like it's the price point that for me collectors are willing to spend at. But something that I've noted about the Artisan line a lot has been that there's been that limited edition effect where people might want the collectible, but then they miss out. And so I actually want this standard Artisan edition I present to you to be an actual wide release. I don't think we want a sculpted edition at this point. I think Artisan is the way to go for Beatrix, but this version of the standard at 385 will be wide release. Now I present back to you the deluxe version. The deluxe Artisan edition is the 3,000 limited edition size at $495. And again, based on my market research, that price is in line with more dramatic diorama display bases. As you can see, her motorcycle actually comes as the display base this time. Now, it can be posed up on its own. It can be posed up as the display base. You can see that there's a figure peg there, so you can use it as the base if you need to. Now, there's also been that criticism of deluxe options in the past that we actually lose the standard base. I would present that we'd keep the standard base for this figure as well. So that way you can have the motorcycle posed on its own if you'd like as a collectible, or you can use it as your base, but you still have that standard base alongside it. This Deluxe Artisan Edition comes with everything that the standard edition comes with as well, but because it's limited to 3,000, I've also thrown in a 1-for-1 size Pussy Wagon keychain for collectors to have on their set of keys, of course, because who doesn't want the Pussy Wagon set up there on their keys? But again, with regards to the likeness here, the Artisan look, I think there's a notable dialed up increase for how good paint applications can be now and rooted hair. I present you this. Now, lastly, and I'm almost at time, guys, our female icons line. I don't want this to just be a one and done. This will be the Hot Toys female icons beginning of the line. And as you can see here, I'm thinking Aliens, Ripley, we've got Underworld, we've got Terminator, Sarah Connor, we got Resident Evil, Kill Bill, Tomb Raider. Starting out, if you want a female icon in your display, start with Kill Bill, but end with the other 6 that you see here on the screen. I present to you. Thank you for your time.
Wow. Okay. Good. Aplauso, aplauso.
Nice work.
I ran out of time faster
awesome.
than I expected. That was a fast 5 minutes.
No.
Ben, I liked it.
No. Okay. Yeah, I was like, where did Marco go? He just sent something in the private chat that he had to roll. Yeah, I totally missed that. All right. Yeah, no, that's okay. We'll keep the show going. Congratulations, Ben. You've done your pitch. Appreciate it, man. All right. So again, before we get into the Q&A and the rebuttal section, I want to go ahead and check in where we are currently with the poll, and then we'll go into Vita's pitch. Okay. So let's see. Currently, right now. Ooh. Okay. So it's a lot closer than we thought. 47% still for 1980s films, but sports figures not too far behind at 42%. Everything else is at 5%. So 1980s might win it unless we get a couple more votes. Again, we'll conclude it at the end of your presentation, Vita. Okay. Vita, are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay.
You good, Jose?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if I can see Vita's thing here. Give me 1 second.
Oh,
there it is. There it is. Okay. Would you let her know when to start? You start the timer, and Vita, you can start presenting.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. And start.
Good afternoon, and thank you for your time. Today, I would like to introduce something slightly different. Now, don't get me wrong. We all love Iron Man. We all respect or fear Darth Vader. And I'm fairly certain there are more stormtroopers in collectors' cabinets than the actual Empire by this point. But collectors are starting to look for something grounded, something historical, a cinematic icon, a character built on honor, strategy, and presence. And I present you Maximus Decimus Meridius from Gladiator. For the box art, we drew inspiration from the original theatrical poster, the most iconic and globally recognizable visual associated with the film. The color palette, the solitary stance, and the Colosseum silhouette immediately anchors the product and the film identity. Rather than modernizing the artwork, we choose to preserve its cinematic tone. This is Maximus in arena outfit, utilizing a specially designed body made to Russell Crowe's proportions with fully seamless arms and legs to really dial in the realism. The armor detailing and tailoring aim for screen-level realism, layered textures, battle-wear, and accurate silhouette. And dynamic pose articulation supports wide combat stances, so whether collectors prefer more museum display options or recreating that very iconic "are you not entertained" moment, but are fully supported. Accessories. Accessories are designed to expand possibilities rather than simply increase quantity. The alternate head sculpt captures the iconic arena moment, adding dramatic display contrast. Multiple handsets support combat, grips, shield handling, and relaxed poses. The miniature figurines reference Maximus' family, introducing emotional storytelling beyond combat. The gladiator helmet serves both as a wearable gear and standalone display element. The shield features layered metallic paint applications and distressing, and die-cast gladius introduces weight, authenticity, and premium feel. Together, these elements allow collectors to shift between warrior intensity and personal reflection. The base elevates the release into display scene. Inspired the Colosseum, it features textured stonework, sand detailing, and subtle battle remains. The curved wall framing adds dimensional depth while remaining shelf efficient. In addition to the gladiator version, we introduced General Maximus. The fur cloak, ornate Roman armor, and crested helmet create a distinct different silhouette and aesthetic. Visually, the contrast between General and Gladiator tells the complete character arc, which some collectors desire. This will be offered as part of the Deluxe 2-pack option. The 2-pack becomes the definite collector's release, narratively complete and highly desirable. The proposal supports a structured tier model aligned with current 6-scale market positioning. These price points reflect dual portraits, die-cast components, and expanded tailoring. The tiered structure allows accessibility, upsell potential, and limited edition exclusivity without diluting brand quality. This release is not an isolated product. It establishes a foundation. Gladiator opens the door to a broader historical cinematic line. Maximum becomes the entry point, but the long-term opportunity lies in building a definitive historical collectible line. This proposal delivers craftsmanship, narrative depth, and scalable strategy. This is strength and honor in Civ scale. Thank you for your time.
Nice, with 30 seconds to
Nice
spare.
job.
Damn.
Nice job.
Insane.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Well said.
Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Hell yeah.
The two revenge stories. Just noticed that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to both of you. I got one for you too, Ben. I got one for you too.
Hergeekyside.
Oh my goodness.
Baby. This is going to be close. I can already tell.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm still waiting
All
for
right.
that 4K version of that.
Yes,
Bloody
sir.
The
Affair.
full bloody? Yeah.
Bring it
I
on.
know.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. That
Steelbook.
was such a great experience. Me and Gio, we headed out to Tarantino's theater and we saw it. And
Awesome.
oh my goodness, what a great experience. I never once felt like, oh my God, it's so long. I just felt like
Yeah.
so immersed in the story. You know what I mean?
Intermission
4.5
episode.
hours.
But again, congratulations, both of you guys. You guys did it. You guys were nervous. You guys were chatting it up about, but you did it. Here you go. You're done. And that was truly exceptional. Both of you guys were amazing. Again, I knew it was a great pairing to put you guys together because you both did excellent in your previous presentations. So I knew this one would be a good one. I want to go ahead and close out. The guys here that are next up, they will need to know where they are. So I need to go ahead and close this poll. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. And oh my goodness, Adam, go ahead and start popping the champagne. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Here we go. And
this is a good thing I wore one of my sports hoodies.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to influence the votes
sports
there.
figures, huh?
Start popping the can you guys see what I'm seeing? At 48%, just closed the poll with 21 votes. Sports figures has won.
Awesome.
Sports figures have won. 48%.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's different.
48%. Someone bust out Adam. I don't know who you told. You bust out those burners, but
I know, right? And that can be fictional, right? Fictional players, in TV and film.
Yes, TV and film. So if you wanted to do if you want to do like an NFL player, you can do that. A soccer player, a Messi or Ronaldo, whatever, you can do that. But if you wanted to do something based on film, like The Replacements, Keanu Reeves or something like that, that's valid as well. So yeah, you have a whole wide range of varieties. If you wanted to focus on a film, you can do that. That's our results, guys. We did it. Comments here, both great pitches and characters. This is going to be tough. Yes, I know. Harrison, he says, now you know how me and Jim felt with rom-coms.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Some debatable rom-com choices, though.
He says, Sal says, I'm gonna pitch a baby. Oh no, don't let us know what you're doing yet. How do you guys feel about that category, guys?
It's cool. I like that it's a little
challenge,
different
right?
from
Bring
the
it
other,
on, yeah.
the other shows. So yeah, something worth watching.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find something, right? Again, if you're counting also fictional players like in TV and film, I'm sure it's not anything coming to mind, but I'm sure if I go digging, I'll have to go see. And it'll be interesting though. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm always up for a challenge.
Derek Jeter.
And I'll pass. That one's open to you guys. Go ahead, Sal. Adam, if you want to take Derek Jeter, go ahead.
Listen, I got a Red Sox hoodie on, so I have Derek Jeter. There you go. Come on.
So again, this is our coming matchup in March. Again, scheduling TBD to be determined with these three individuals to get this second ever triple threat matchup. So we'll see what happens there in March. But guys, let's get back to what happened here. 2 epic presentations, 2 epic characters. Let's go into the Q&A and rebuttal section. First Q&A section. I'm going to go ahead and lean on my special guest judges. We got a few of us here, so I want to lean on you guys. I hope you guys have a question for one of them, maybe both of them. Gio, you got a notepad there? I'm assuming you're ready. Let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So again, I might have missed this, even though I was taking notes and everything. But first question is for Ben. So the motorcycle, you said it's a base, so it's not an actual like 1/6 vehicle. Like it's just like set up as a base itself.
No, so it's a 1/6 vehicle and it's a base. So it has a stand available so that you can use it as a base for the figure if you want it to be like a dynamic display option, or it can be its own vehicle set aside. I can show the photo again if you like, Jose, just for clarity.
Because it comes, you have the deluxe artisan limited version that has the bike and the figure, right?
That's right. So the figure comes with the bike. That's right.
Okay, at $495.
$495. You got
and
it.
How does because I'm thinking of the price, like wouldn't it be a lot more just because we have a bike, a 1/6 motorcycle? Wouldn't it be a lot more than $495 for both of these?
So I thought about that. I looked at comparison like other 6-scale bikes that you can buy, like model kits, for example, and some of them are pretty expensive. I still envision this being like a plastic bike, so nothing that's like crazy expensive in terms of actual like design ability, but again, something that will still complement the figure, right? So especially since she comes with her motorcycle gear as it was, it felt like a natural inclusion to have that additional kind of display bike feel to it. But unlike, you know, vehicles like Jazz Inc., for example, that are full out cars that are made of metal and have working parts and everything, the biggest thing here is that the window pops out and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's a relatively static option. So I was able to keep the cost a bit lower.
And will there be a Pussy Wagon keychain in 1/6?
Yeah, not in 1/6, but in 1-to-1 scale
A
for
real
all
one,
3,000 limited.
Okay, but not in 1/6. Okay.
No, no.
That was for Ben. For Vita. Let's see.
No questions. Amazing presentation. Thank you, Gio. Appreciate it.
Amazing presentation. But there's a question. And again, you might have mentioned this, but I didn't catch it. But what is the material for the armor for the gladiator figure, the standard?
So that's leather, because it's leather strapping essentially, and then we have like the shoulder pads and such. That's gonna be like metallic paint work with distress.
Okay. All right, I think that was the only questions that I had. So awesome presentations, both of you. It's going to be very difficult yet again. So yeah, that was it for me.
All right. Thank you, G. I appreciate it. Fig Poster says, decisions. I want to let you guys know, guys, the poll is now live. So, guys, even if you're on the panel, you can go and cast your vote now. Just don't let us know. Keep that for the live viewers to go ahead and make sure they see it live when you let us know. But go ahead and if the poll is now live, so you can go ahead and place your votes if you haven't done so already. So thank you, guys. I want to go next to Feezy. Feezy, you got this coming up next, this huge triple threat battle with these two individuals. We're here with you. But you're a special guest judge. You're seeing it from the other side. Do you have any questions for my competitors here?
I do, yeah. Gio actually answered or asked some of the ones I was thinking of, but to kind of go back more to Ben on the bike, yeah, I was kind of surprised that that price point you're throwing in the bike, which is awesome, right? Obviously, as we collectors, we want to get as like cheap as possible, free if anything, right? Ideally, but yeah, like also trying to be reasonable here. So just confirm, you said the bike was going to be all plastic. Will it have any like electronic features, like light ups or sounds or anything like that? Tires move or anything like that?
The tires can move, but there's no electronic features, and that's part of the reason that I gave the extra base for stability, just because we don't want it to roll away, obviously, on you. The only main feature there is that it's a swappable windshield. And keep in mind, like I did market research against other pretty dramatic display bases of the deluxe artisan lines that have come out, and some of those other figure bases are pretty epic in terms of their construction and paint applications. So while this looks like a lot for less, overall construction of the bike is actually still pretty simplistic comparatively in terms of paint applications and design.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you obviously mentioned artisan for both. Well, rooted hair, I want to say, right? Like, and what's so in general, this kind of is added to that, but materials all around for the figure. So the hair, what type of material will that be?
It's the wool hair implantation, similar to what we've seen on the Beetlejuice figure, and the other artisan lines. Yeah.
Okay, and then the rest of the suit, what material will that be?
So I didn't indicate the suit material. I was looking at the synthetic style materials, similar to what we've actually seen on some of the more posable like Spider-Man options or some of the hero figures. I do want to stay away from pleather. Pleather tends to erode pretty quickly. However, leather was going to be a pretty significant cost increase. So again, that synthetic material, similar to actually what we've seen on the recent Darth Vader figures that look like leather, simulated red leather, but have more posability and less degradation possibility.
Okay, yep. And then I don't, unless I missed it, I don't recall mentioning any, the articulation. Will that just be basic articulation, or what's the articulation range on this figure? Because obviously it's Beatrix Kiddo, and she was a badass, so she was getting down, so I want to make sure she's well articulated. But what was the, how was the articulation on the figure?
So articulation is still similar to all other Hot Toys figures, so all the same points of articulation. I know you typically go through points of articulations on your live streams, which I really appreciate, but again, with the synthetic material versus the leather or pleather, I do think that it'll give a little bit more range of dynamic posability. Keep in mind, it is still a 6-scale offering. In order for the suit to be well fitted, that will still be restrictive to a certain extent, but I still think you can pull off some pretty awesome, fighting and hero poses.
Got it. Okay. All right, yeah, that's all I had. I'm sure others have more questions, but for bands, and then Vita's onto Vita. covered a lot of the points there. I know you mentioned seamless arms, and you mentioned the leather. That was another question I have, but you already answered that on as far as that. And then, so just to confirm, the general version, that's going to be paywalled behind the 2-pack, so you can only get that with the 2-pack?
Yes, I was actually really going between deciding is it going to be 3-way release or just 2-way, and then I decided it should be 2-way because not many people would want to have Maximus just as a general, but I thought some people would want to have that option because, you know, like, he's iconic because he was a gladiator, not because he was a general. So I thought, you know, very often, you know, you wouldn't want to and just to have the outfit for replacement because that's fiddly. You know, I learned David's name myself, and I had to undo his tie and pull his shirt down to just put a head sculpt on. You know, that I know the pain. So I was like, yeah, there's going to be a collectors who want to have that complete arc between two sides of the character. So yeah, it's just going to be deluxe version, the premium 2-pack edition.
Gotcha. And then, sorry again if I missed this. The shield, did you say that was going to be die-cast also, or just a sword?
Just a sword. Just because of the weight, the shield might weight the figure more forward, and then we would have a balance issues. But we're gonna have quite high quality metallic paint added, so it's gonna look like a real deal.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Yeah, that's. For each of you, I forgot to ask. Rolling eyes. I presume each one will have rolling eyes.
Yes, definitely rolling eyes.
Sorry,
I feel like
Jim,
it's a standard now.
Sorry, Jim. I'm guessing I took his question. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Sorry.
Over here, Feezy. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I'll stop now. Yeah. I'll leave some for the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, standard.
Go ahead and jump in, Jim. What do you think? Questions?
Okay. Yeah. Question first off to Ben, because that's the only one I've been able to think out so far. So obviously you mentioned doing kind of like a female icons line, which I think is a fantastic idea. But my question is, would you look to also expand upon the Kill Bill line as well, or would this be a one and done? Because I'm just keeping in mind the cost of licenses. So I'd imagine Hot Toys would probably want to utilize that license as much as possible. So that's my main question to you. But yeah, that's what I have so far.
Really great question. You know what? I hadn't looked into too much in the way of extending the Kill Bill line. If I'm completely honest, I do love a lot of the characters. Obviously, Bill himself really shows up more in the second volume, and this is highlighted on the first volume. I do think Oren Ishii would be a next option if we were looking at that, especially just because she's a hugely badass actress and character as well. But again, like some of the other assassins, while I think that they're iconic, I don't know if they're iconic enough that, like the general public, if they saw that particular character in the display, would know exactly where it's from or who it is. Whereas I think you can identify Beatrix here as kind of the main character, obviously, of that film. Like she's very easy to represent the whole film in one go. For sure. So as of right now, I was going to plan to stick with that icon from that specific film. Now, one of the reasons though that I wanted to broaden the icons line, however, was because there are other lines that Hot Toys has given us, such as Terminator, for example, where a Sarah Connor would be a really great addition to other portions of Hot Toys collectors displays, while also still representing that icons line. So you could have either your female icons shelf, or you could salt and pepper some of those other characters in with the line into your display.
Nice. Very well put. Well said. One question. I'm aiming it at Vita, but it can also be for Ben as well, actually. Just because, Ben, I know you mentioned the stands. Vita, the base, magnetic, crotch grabber, or both?
Both.
Oh.
Good answer.
Interesting.
But nice.
Interesting.
Ben, did you have a magnetic option, or was it just the
standard figure bases for ours? Yeah.
Good question.
Cool.
Wow. Okay, I want to go to Adam
So
next. Adam, do you have some questions for us?
Well, first of all, I thought both your presentations were outstanding and two iconic characters from the 2000s. So really, I think this is going to be close. Most of my questions have been answered. Really, the only one that maybe you said it, I just did not hear. For each of you, which company is producing each that you would ideally have produce each figure?
Hot Toys.
Hot Toys was mine as well.
Hot Toys are both. Thank you.
Yep, that's
All right. Cool. And Sal, you were mentioning Go-Go.
Hell yeah. Go-Go.
Yeah, Go-Go's dope. Yeah, I think everybody took my questions, to be honest. I did have one for Ben. I noticed there's the helmet version. Does that just replace the head sculptor? Are you planning for that to go over the rooted hair?
That's a good question.
Sorry, my microphone cut out just ever so slightly. Can you just repeat your question? Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah. I was asking if the helmet would just go over the rooted hair, or would it be like a separate like head swap for that?
So I actually planned that the helmet wouldn't go onto the head sculpt. It was meant more so for her to be able to have the display where she's holding the helmet and or propped up with the bike if you got the deluxe artisan edition, but not planned to go over. I was worried about paint applications and the rooted hair styling, like you said. So
got it. So no like actual like poses like riding the bike. Just kind of
I kind of envisioned her like kind of getting off the bike, kind of having it in her hand as though she has just de-helmeted herself. But yeah, I was a little bit worried about the hair and the paint apps, so figured it was best to keep that aside. Yeah. But
is
it
that
still
something...
looks like a fully functional helmet, which is cool. The visor pops up and everything. Like it's still it looks like a legit motorcycle helmet, which is cool.
Would you, Ben? I guess let me jump in there. Is that something then that you would design it so that way it doesn't fit in the head and the collector doesn't try to put it on it? Like, would you design it like it's not big enough so that way they can't put it in there? Type of,
Yeah, I think it would be pretty obvious that it wouldn't be a fit for it. I think the only alternative was that I had considered an option that had a helmet, like a pre-helmeted head
sculpt
option, right? So that it looked like it was already on and you could pop that on the figure. I was a little bit cost averse though, so as of right now, like that would be something that I'd leave to interpretation for the panel if I was funded in terms of this project. That could be something that we could workshop potentially as an additional option.
Okay. No, yeah, I do think that the cost is something you should be aware of, and then adding that additional helmeted, head sculpt would definitely increase the price there. So yeah, if you were to get funding, again, that's something. I love how you're using the terminology there. So yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, if you were to get funded, that's something that maybe we could consider in regards to your pitch. I do want to talk to Vita about your line. Now, you showed a couple mock-ups of films that haven't even came out yet. So congrats to you for showing that. One of them was The Odyssey. Tell us more about like the line potential that you were showing us there, and kind of why this line would be a better line than the line that Ben was pitching us here.
So in my last slide, I had Commodus, Lucilla, Odysseus, and Athena. So obviously two guests to complement Gladiator. And I think like them three together, it's like iconic. You have like all you need if you have those three figures. And then, Odyssey, I can't pronounce it because I'm trying to say Lithuanian pronunciation at the same time. It's like hasn't come out, but it caused so much commotion already. People are already excited. It has this massive, casting with all these big names: Zendaya, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, just to name a few. And I mean, Zendaya as Athena, I think she's gonna do an amazing job. We already seen her in June, how tough and strong she can be. And yeah, I think as collectors are so excited, and I think we were talking on the Hope Show about it, there's so many people actually interested in that. Like I think Shane mentioned he wanted to actually get a book of Odyssey and he couldn't get one in his local shop because it got so popular. So it's gonna create, I think, a massive market. These stories resurfacing and movies coming to the screens, it's gonna be big. And I feel, especially like the history nerds like myself, this could be a gold mine.
I have a question for you. The great point there by Sal and Damon Hansu's character, which is a great character as well. Definitely an option that you could consider in regards to that line if you wanted to expand on Gladiator. But I know it wasn't very popular, but there was a sequel, Gladiator 2, that came out last year. Would you consider a line from that film as well?
I mean, we would have to look at the sales and we would need to listen to the community. I feel that's where the companies can do the best, listen to the community. I feel like there were quite a few people wanting the Gladiator, wanting this representation, wanting this standout figure in the collection. I mean, by the time I finished my pitch, I was saying to Jim, I want this figure. Like, I want it to come out. I want it. I sold it to myself, right? So
that's the point.
You would see, like, for me, it wasn't as good as the original. It's something, 2000s, as we spoke earlier, some nostalgia around it. And I think it's just one cinematic experience you cannot recreate. But why not? If there's a need and if there is a line in the market for the Gladiator 2, why not? Maybe, as I say, maybe some history nerds, they would love that. And they would like to have the full details with Gladiator and Gladiator 2, recreating the scenes, recreating the battles. As I say in my last bit, last slide, that endless possibilities. You can go so many lines from there. And you can pose them together. The figure will never then look alone because you can style it with other historic figures.
Okay, I got a question. It's going to go to both of you guys. All right. So if we go ahead and greenlight your pitch, let's say we do that particular figure and we're like, okay, which one do you want for us to produce next? Whether, Ben, you were mentioning the female icons. So which one would you have us do next? And then same thing for you, Vita. Which one would be the next one? Would it be another character from Gladiator? Would it be the Odyssey? What would you have us do next? Ben.
For me, of the female icons line, it would be Sarah Connor or Ripley. Just because we've been seeing Hot Toys do Terminator and Alien already, and those are notable gaps, honestly, in people's collections, and awesome characters.
And Vita, would you do a companion to Maximus from the same film? Would you do the Odyssey?
Yes, 100%. I would do Commodus because I think that's amazing evil character. And then especially in the armor I selected, the black outfit he's wearing, I think, you can create the battle scene between two of them. So it definitely would be going something to company Gladiator. And again, you don't want to be two-headed with Odyssey. Maybe it's going to be a massive flop. We haven't seen it yet. Let's hear the critics. Let's hear the community, and then we move on in that direction. But I think the Gladiator would be amazing. I mean, we can see in the chat people already suggesting all the different characters which could go next to Gladiator. So it's definitely a market there.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. Anybody have any other comments? I'm going to check in where we currently stand in the poll before we get into rebuttal. Anybody? Okay, then I will share as of right now. Again, we're not going to close it just yet. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity for rebuttal. But as of right now, Vita, you are in the lead with 61%. Ben, you're at 39 at the moment with 23 votes. So if you got those burners, go ahead and just pull them out right now. Poll's still open. So please go ahead and vote if you have not done so already. Ben and Vita, this is the opportunity for you guys to question the presentation you just saw. Again, I know you guys are polite. I know you guys do like each other as human beings. But for this moment right now, if there's somebody that's kind of, they don't know which side to lean on, let us know. Why is your pitch better than your opponent's?
I proposed how my box and the box art would look, and Ben left that us in the dark, how the box would look. Some people loved boxes, like Jim here, who left the room right now, but he loves his boxes. We have all the boxes, lined up, and if you would have more space, there would be more boxes lined up.
In the call
so, which way would you go with the box, Ben?
Ooh.
I mean, For me, I prefer to focus on the character more than the art box that for most collectors sits in a closet in a shipper and takes up space and creates frustration. But no, I think I would want it to look like similar to what Sideshow's been doing with Beetlejuice, right? That movie style, almost like VHS style box. I think would be really cool for Kill Bill with the bright yellow.
So you say you just would copy me? Okay, I see.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. Actually, I was more copying Sideshow, but that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, that's what I went with. My cover was VHS. Just saying.
Nicolio says no box.
For me, while I think your pitch was extremely professional and well said, I wanted to appeal to the judges for funding the figure and happy to workshop with them for what they feel would be best to take to market once funded. So we'll see how it goes.
I also would like to point out that, the companies struggle with the female figures and, the proportions, the likeness, always off. With the men's, especially men with a beard, rugged look, always nice detail.
For sure. But I think that's where there's a huge gap, right, for female icons. There's so many awesome characters out there that just aren't being made that people want to see. And I think Hot Toys can shed that narrative of female characters not being popular enough with collectors or not being well done enough to justify the money. I think this could take Hot Toys to another level in a lot of ways.
Yes, that's why we go with iconic historic figures, like my pitch.
For sure, but I love Gladiator, but I would say the majority of his ancillary characters are boring and I wouldn't want to collect them, if I'm honest. I would only really want Maximus and maybe Commodore, but that's it. That's where that line would stop for me. And because, like you said, Odyssey hasn't come out yet, I don't even know if I'm going to like that movie, where I already know that every character on the female icons line I freaking love. Everyone.
We will catch up on July on that one.
Oh, we got a comment here from Blue Tattoo says the Richard Harris Marcus Aurelius would be a cool figure to accompany Maximus. Oh, absolutely, especially that general outfit that you were teasing.
It could be, but let's be honest, so often Hot Toys collectors or collectors in general say, wouldn't it be cool to have this character? And then when we get it, nobody wants it. Nobody is willing to put the money up for it. Yeah. So, yes, it would be cool, but for the 3 people who would buy it, I don't know if it's worth funding, in my opinion.
I don't think it would be 3 people, Ben. That's a bit rude.
12.
12.
Tell the people who are voting for me.
Claws are out.
I've already done it with the Dumbledore anyway, so there you go. You've already got him.
Yeah, at least it's not another Joker, right?
Sal's saying it, and Nolan we trust. So absolutely. Nicolio says female icons line would finally give you an okay. Oh yeah.
Okoye.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a possibility, right, Ben? I'm assuming with the female icons line. Wouldn't that be great that you can just you can have like a whole slogan. It's like this is the female icons, right? And then whole like an artisan, but it's like female icons.
Well, shout out to our buddy D-Lo the collector. Right? I just watched his collection tour the other day, and he had like a movie icons shelf. And that was part of the reason I was thinking like that female icons, because if you get one-off characters, right? Like if Beatrix doesn't have necessarily another character from Kill Bill to display with, who could you display her with? And you could display her with the Powerhouse ladies. So for sure.
Absolutely. And going back to the comment about the Richard Harris, Marcus Aurelius, I personally would be like, yeah, I'd collect a lot of these figures from this line, but I think that one falls into the supporting figure, right? Like oftentimes we'll get like the main character and then we'll get like one that's like a supporting character that you'll buy, but then later when you're looking at your collection and you're like, oh well, what can I get rid of? And you're like, oh, you look at those supporting characters and you're like, oh, maybe that's the one I get rid of. So I'm not sure how well that would do. Joaquin Phoenix though, the Joaquin Phoenix, especially with the iconic, that would be really cool. And I feel like I wouldn't want to get rid of that one. If I got that one with Maximus, I think I'd be happy with just those 2. But all right, guys. Any other comments? Rebuttal section. Are we closing here? Final thoughts to our competitors? Sway votes. All right. We're gonna go ahead and I think it might be the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and check in. I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds to go ahead and conclude your votes here, guys, if you have not done so already. Actually, you know what? More than 60 seconds because we still got to show the panel. So, sorry about that. I'm jumping ahead. So I'm gonna go to every single guest judge here before we go ahead and close the poll. So we got a couple more minutes. So guys, sorry, don't rush. If you have not done so already, I'm gonna go to every single judge panelist here today, special guests, and see where you leaned on. Now, before we get to Jim, because everyone's excited about what Jim's doing, but before we get there, I want to go first to Gio. Now, Gio, this is a tough one. I know this is a tough one for you, especially because
he's like, I'm leaving.
When we and you were talking, I did kind of give you a little insight, and I was like, well, I think it's going to be hard to pick against Ben because of what I know how you feel about Kill Bill. But let us know, where did you end up going?
Okay, so Vita's not even looking at the camera now. She's like looking at me right now. So.
I was just saying it's funny that because I was thinking about Kill Bill figure. I was just saying that to Jim.
I was thinking about Gladiator. That was my. Yeah. That's why I said to you earlier there wasn't a lot of characters from the 2000s films that I would have wanted figure wise. Gladiator was in my top three choices.
I will add that I did get a little nervous, Ben, because you guys were talking about Gladiator at the same time, and I was like,
yeah, oh, there you go.
And I was like, yep,
yeah.
But then
I even worked the slides and everything, and I was like, for me, I couldn't pitch it the same, but great option.
But yeah, great presentations as always. You know, all you guys always do amazing presentations. It's like when I'm gonna get to my point again, I was like, I'm gonna have to somehow live up to that myself, and that's gonna be kind of hard for me to do. But yeah, so I think some of you guys know, especially if you've seen my channel, Kill Bill is one of my favorite films of all time. Maybe top 10, maybe top 5. So Beatrix Kiddo was definitely one of my fantasy figure picks. If you guys know that I do the fantasy figure zone, you know, I select a figure, I had the panelists select one and submit a presentation about that, kind of like this. And that was my pick, Beatrix Kiddo as a fantasy figure. And I know you guys were talking about the female line there. And yes, that definitely works. There's a lot of characters that need to be manufactured, or just another 2.0 version like Sarah Connor and Ripley and all that stuff. So definitely I was thinking more about like some other Kill Bill characters. Go-Go was also a fantasy figure pick of mine. Elle Driver as sort of little trench coat. She's walking down the hospital and stuff like that. Even
or the nurse's outfit.
There you go. Right.
Cool.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that scene would be cool. And what's her name? Renita Green. Even her, Vivica Fox. I would like her to wear, even though she doesn't fight Beatrix Kiddo in that outfit, I would like her to be wearing the green, or the outfit that she's wearing in that kitchen scene. Then of course Bill, and then Bud wearing the outfit from the strip club, so I have like all this and Ornishi, of course, Lucy Liu in that final scene in volume 1. So I was just thinking about all that, but yeah, I mean, Gladiator, awesome film. It's a Best Picture winner. It's going to be in the books for decades. One of the first films actually it came out in 2000, so that's one of the movies that came out in 2000. A lot of historical significance there. The base is awesome. The option of having 2 figures if you want the Gladiator or the General. Awesome options there. And I was just asking about the bike because like I would like an actual 1/6 bike for the Beatrix Kiddo. So that's what I was asking about that. But so I already voted. But one day, I will say this: one day, I will vote for Vita. But it's not going to be today.
No!
So very sorry, Vita. Again, I'm very, very sorry, but I have to choose Beatrix Kiddo as.
I think Gio just low-key doesn't like me, and that's the way he shows it.
That's why I was like, Vita, I hope you selected a very awesome character that I don't have some kind of connection to, so that I could. Yeah, it's Vita's time, but yeah. So I already voted for Ben. So great presentations, awesome presentations. So thank you guys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I want to go to Feezy next. Feezy, let us know, which side did you lean on? Who did you pick?
Okay, I'll try to make this somewhat quick. Yeah, this one's tough because I personally would get both of these if these were actually made. So Hot Toys, come on, bring us both of these. Yeah, Vita's choice was an awesome one. The details on the armor, you guys, for those of you who see my channel, I'm all about adding that detail, paying attention to the detail in the armors. And the intricacies and the time it takes to do that, seamless body, that would be great. Yeah, and I agree that the options for the two, so yeah, loving that. But again, Ben on Kill Bill, yeah, that would be an awesome take. Yeah, no one officially has done that yet. Oh man, that would be that. The colors alone on that would pop. And the artisan hair, I love the fact that you offered the artisan hair on both versions of that, and the bike, surprising on the price. So figures aside, I kind of narrowed down the presentation. I will have to say that for Vita's presentation, I think she nailed it. She covered all the points there within her time with 30 seconds to spare. She gave a little intro and then she went into the figure and covered articulation and materials and pricing. And so that's why I didn't really have too many questions for her, for me personally. On Ben's presentation, I know you were kind of trying to sell like the character itself, and so you went that route and comparing it to like what somebody has done previously, and you kind of did like a smear campaign on that previous figure. So it's like I would have liked to have seen more on the figure itself, hence why I had more questions for you. And then also, yeah, again, as far as the figure, I think Maximus is a good choice for more dynamic shelves. He's being a Roman. You can just say, even if there isn't anyone who hasn't seen to this day, if they haven't seen Gladiator, right, and they just see a Roman figure, I think the appeal of that in general, you can mix and match with like different lines, right? And like I'm all about that personally, and so I think that would appeal to more of a wider audience. Whereas Beatrix Kiddo, yeah, female, she is badass for those who know her, but how many displays can you put her in? I mean, yeah, you mentioned the female icon line, but then I know there's some collectors who are like, I don't want to mix and match those IPs to that degree. So for that, I went Vita. Yeah, all around a great job. Awesome figures, though. I hope they make both of those because I would definitely pick up both of those. So congrats, Vita. Yeah, that was a good job.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I brought some friends.
Gio's excited for Jim's, but we'll get there. Spoiler alert, he will be the last one to share. Before we get to him, Adam, what do we think?
He's sweating there.
Adam, what do we think?
I'm okay.
First of all, I think both of you did awesome presentations, and I agree with my fellow judges that I would get both these figures. These are like on top lists of 2000s figures that myself and a lot of people in the community would want to see produced. I think that the Beatrix figure, is like lots of people talk, what's toyetic, what pop on the shelf. I absolutely think that would pop on the shelf with that yellow color, with the motorcycle. That's a lot of people would like 1/6 scale vehicles, but not everyone has the room to display them. So that type of cycle, you could fit that on a DTOLF or a smaller shelf. I think that would work really well. But you have the option of just getting the one figure, and I think that Hot Toys actually has been killing it with respect to Vita. I think that Black Widow figure is one of the best Hot Toys figures of last year, and if they put the same level of work into that like they would with Beatrix, I think that would absolutely kill it. The other thing too is I do see now both these, the beauty of both your choices is if you want, you could be one and done with this line. If you want to have your movie icons shelf like I do and many others do, you could just get that one figure, either one, and be done. But yes, you could expand. Certainly with Gladiator, there are other characters. You pointed out the Odyssey as one of the options. But I think that Ben's idea of the women icons, like I see that in your image you showed Ripley and Newt from Aliens. I desperately want a 2.0 of that figure. But the other thing is, and I don't think you mentioned that you could go with this line, is Tarantino has got a lot of great characters that have not been, in my view, properly done in 1/6 scale. So you could have tied in with this the world of Tarantino. You know,
Totally.
Jules and Travolta's character from and Bruce Willis's character from and Ving Rhames' character from Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown. I mean, so many great movies, Inglourious Bastards, you name it, you could have characters of. So again, great presentations, but I got to go with Kill Bill on this one, Ben. That's my vote.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate how you explained that, Adam. Thank you so much. Sal, before we get to Jim, you're the last one here.
Yeah. So, actually, I guessed Vita's pitch on this. I think yesterday I was like, I think you're going to do Gladiator, and I was right. So that's funny.
Oh.
And mostly because that's probably what I would have done as well. I was just thinking about like movies from the 2000s and kind of what resonated with me when, you know, I watch movies from that era. And then as far as like Ben's pitch, I actually do love the character of Beatrix Kiddo more. But what kind of like threw me off a little bit was not like the inclusion of like not having a battle damaged or an Oren Ishii. And that's mostly because like, for me, I think that scene is just so iconic. Like I have like art of it where it's just like them in the snow. And like I reference that scene a lot, like when like I'm doing, you know, like art or whatever. So it's it was super tough because like I do want both, and I did want both. And I think like, you know, part of the show is like representation, and I would love more female characters in the collection as well, but it's not, I guess it just wasn't like exactly what I wanted or what I had envisioned when Beatrix Kiddo came up on the screen. So for that, I went with Vita for my vote.
Oh, yeah. It's funny you mentioned the battle damage, because I almost did a 2-pack with a battle damage look instead of the motorcycle, but I was like I kind of like the motorcycle. Like, I don't know. But like, yeah, I mean, that's a good call out, buddy, for sure. For sure. Because she gets pretty bloody in that scene. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And not that there's any more pressure on Jim. I think we're split right in the panel 2 and 2 so far.
Yeah. I think so. Well, let's go ahead and share Harrison, who's usually on the panel, but today he's in the chat. He said, so while I'm not part of this panel judge today, I would say that while both pitches are insanely amazing pitches and so well done, my vote will go to Vita for Maximus. He's an incredible actor and character. Yes. So Harrison letting us know where he went. And you will no longer be invited on Ben's show.
Oh, damn.
And you're banning people from other channels now too. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes people deserve it. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Wow. Well, you're not welcome on our stream, Jose.
Oh my. Nicolio says, Emperor Nicomedes, producer vote, 100 points, vote Maximus. Sorry, Ben. Yeah, Nicolio is a producer on this channel, if you guys did not know. So he is a producer on this channel. So
nice.
Yes. So he's saying that his producer vote gets 100. So I don't know about that. We'll have to talk about that one. 14's in here. I was getting a little upset at him yesterday. I almost banned him too, but he says, "Hi, Gio. Gonna have to catch the replay. Been busy shoveling snow." Oh, well,
I was like, if you're gonna ban everyone, you won't have any viewers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting a blizzard tomorrow.
Oh no. Oh no.
Stay safe, everyone.
Says I'm slowly getting banned on everyone's show. Yeah, I mean, you're almost there. And 14 says he's going with Vita as well. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Good to know. Okay.
Thank you.
It's the moment of truth. Jim.
And he's got 14 Wellington's got Beatrix on his avatar, doesn't he?
Yeah. I know. Isn't that interesting, right? Interesting.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. The Keto says, well, with Hatos, they like putting out a battle damage version 2 months later so Kay can eat it too.
Not wrong.
Hey, Ben.
That's what I should have said. That should have been my rebuttal. Don't worry, guys. we've got another option.
It's coming
It's in
soon.
the line. 2 weeks
limited,
later.
limited to 600.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
for both
there's-
figures, right?
there's
That can work for both.
That's right.
You're right on the money, man. Just as long as you agree with me, no problem. You won't get banned. So don't worry about it. All right, guys. Jim, we've been waiting, anticipating. Are you sleeping on the couch? Yes or no? Let us know. Where did you vote?
I didn't put an art box.
Well,
in.
I'll
I hate
start
to
off
see it.
saying both of you guys made such good pitches. Ben, the passion definitely came through on your pitch as well, especially at the end with the female icons line. So you'll love to see that. So you did a really good job with that. But ultimately, this kind of boils down to a couple of things for me. So first of all, and Sal kind of put this in my head just now, I think a lot of people, when this came up, their actual thought was, Maximus, Gladiator, or someone was probably going to pitch Maximus from Gladiator. And I think that speaks volumes as to the power of that film, because it's it's 26 years old now and people are still talking about it. They still want it. And I know Kill Bill equally as well, people are still talking about it. There are 2 films, and funnily enough, both of the franchises have kind of had a resurgence recently, right? So obviously we had the sequel to Gladiator, which I personally didn't rate that well, if I'm being completely honest. And then obviously we've got this new consolidated version of Kill Bill coming as well. So you've both got strong IPs and both of these would sell well as well. But I think for me, and nobody jump on my throat for this, I never cared for Kill Bill much at all. I even rewatched the first one on Netflix because it came on Netflix for us recently, and I finished it, but I was just like, I can't be fussed to watch the sequel. I don't know what it is that didn't resonate, because I love Tarantino's work for the most part, but there's some wacky stuff in that. And do you know what really annoys me? Sorry, I'm gonna go on a tangent quick. It's the that kind of, and people take mick out of it. It's when there's that face off and you get that da 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 music, or is it that like alarm kind of sound? I can't stand that noise. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that it just really grinds my gears.
I love that.
But I hate it so much. But so that's never resonated with me. Whereas like a Maximus I've wanted on the shelf ever since the beginning. I think the line would actually sell quite well. And I think, Ben, to your point, I think there are actually lots of really interesting characters in that film as well. So people would name them on the side, Richard Harris as well. And I've forgotten his name, but the his kind of mentor, that guy, he puts on an incredible performance in that film. And I'm gutted I can't remember his name right now. But that would be a character that, that would be one that I'd be interested in. So
but enough to buy him, though? Enough to put the money in? I don't know. If you can't remember his name, would you buy it?
It depends how deep. Definitely go Commodus. Definitely go Maximus. And if Vita allowed me, I'd probably buy more. But maybe if they announce this, she'll let me buy them all. We'll see. But yeah, my vote's gone Vita. But Ben, that was a really good pitch. And actually, I think if I'd have been in with Kill Bill, that would have been a really tough decision for me. But luckily, I don't like Kill Bill, so that made that a bit easier for me.
I was worried about going the Tarantino's route because of his controversy recently of, shitting on Paul Dano and a couple other people. I was like, I don't know if people are going to like a Tarantino line as a result.
But then people buy controversial figures, like any Flash bought after that kind of controversy of that actor. People still bought it. So
yeah, that's true.
I met him at San Diego Comic-Con back in 2003, and I thought he was one of the biggest a-holes I've ever met. But I love his movies. But it's definitely an example of just separate the person from the art. But he was such a conceited, narcissistic a-hole. Hated him.
Wow.
Like, such a negative impression of him.
Wow. I can throw some flowers in there too, Jose. I know you said you wanted us to be mean to the competition, but I would say
now's the opportunity. Go ahead.
I would say that that Vita had a better presentation of the details of the figure. Like, I think it was a better, more well-constructed pitch. Like, I did want to try to bring more passion and excitement for the character, but after, like, that's why I say going first, I think sometimes is is a disadvantage, because after hearing her go through kind of slide by slide, the presentation voice that she put on, like some of those things, I was like, ooh, this sounds like an actual like person bringing this to market, whereas mine felt more rudimentary in its presentation. I was more excited to try to get people hyped up about the character, but less in terms of the detail aspect. So I would have voted against myself just based on the fact that I didn't bring enough detail into my pitch. But both characters are freaking awesome, and I almost went with Gladiator. As I said, it was a sweet pick. So
I appreciate you saying that, Ben. I mean, I will let you know the poll's still open, so
that's
so
okay.
I mean, you might get some.
That's fair. I think it's a pretty definitive win at this point, but I think the pitch was a better pitch for sure.
Okay, I appreciate. No, thank you for saying that.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and jump into the chat, and then I'm gonna go and share my thoughts on everything, and then we'll conclude the show. Okay. All right. Nicolio says we are officially. Oh, he's telling Harrison he's officially immune from banning. Any bans are hereby repealed. In fact, you're now officially the owner of the Jose Plus Network. What? Whoa. We gotta talk. I don't know about all.
Congrats, Harrison.
Breaking news.
Harrison.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know about that. Making a comment to what Jim was saying, and I get told I have the hot takes. See, Harrison strikes again. Oh my.
I just encourage him to speak his mind, that's all.
Sal in the comments says he likes more the niche nature of the Tarantino type films over bigger blockbusters, but Maximus, yeah, just too iconic. Absolutely.
That's fair.
All right. I think that's it. 14 says I obviously have the immediate version of the Bride, clean and battle damage, or the Oren that are actually still hold up. Well, all right. 14 already has it. All right, guys, I'll just go ahead and share my thoughts very quickly, and then I'll show you guys the final poll results, and we will let you guys go with your weekend. I think this is really tough, guys. I love both characters. When you guys both shared what you guys were doing, I was like, oh, this is going to be an epic battle, and it's going to come down to how it's presented and how all the information is, put across. Ben, I gave you a shout out with some of the terminology you were using. You stayed in character. Jim was very, very much the same way when he did his presentation in terms of staying in character, which I very much appreciated. I mean, the Bride, Bellatrix, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just an obvious win. You know what I mean? It's just so obvious. This is like, why not do that? I am concerned whether the Miramax rights. I mean, Disney holds the rights to Miramax. I believe. Gio, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so.
So I believe it may be possible by Hot Toys. I don't know if Hot Toys would do it. I feel like it might lean more like a Caustic Plastic thing, but it does Caustic Plastic get that line. So I see why Hot Toys would be the more feasible option, because they do have option to do a Disney product. So I wouldn't dock you there. I do agree with you what you were saying in regards to in terms of the presentation. Very clean presentation by Vita. The way that she was presenting the accessories, the head sculpts, everything that it was coming with. It's hard to dock her for the presentation style. So ultimately, I had to be like, well, which character do I want the most? And again, these are both day ones. Both of them, if Hot Toys announced them both, I'd put my order in for both of them. But ultimately, I went with Vita on this one as well. All right.
Thank you.
All right. But again, we don't decide, guys. You guys decide. All right. The community votes.
See, I think that the Ben did better presentation because he was passionate about it. For me, it's hard to be passionate because I get super nervous. And for me, I just turn into my work mode when I have to present my slides at work. So I just have my slide deck, have my notes, and I just go for it. And try and kind of just take everything out of my mind and just concentrate on what I want to say. So I feel like the passion is not there. So, and in the real life, I'm very big on facts and I'm very detailed on stuff. So I think that comes through into the notes and such like that. But I think we both did a good job, and I love Ben's work as well. And well done. Thank you for voting for me for all as well.
I know, yeah, of course. Congratulations to both of you guys. But again, it is time to conclude the poll with 28 votes, guys. We have a winner. Vita with 57% will win it to Ben's 43%. So congratulations, Vita. You have been
Congrats, Vita.
today's champion. Congratulations.
It's a better margin than I lost to her, by the way, then. So well done.
Congratulations.
Again, I think in terms of like future Shark Tanks, if it were me, like now that I've seen that presentation, I almost think I should lose marks for not having certain details on my slides, right? Like the fact that the Shark Tank had to ask material choice, you know, what does the bike actually do? Is it just, you know, is it static? What, like, again, some of those details I think would maybe have sold it more potentially, or justified the price points better, right? So again, I think high detail trumps high passion when it comes to the pitch, even if passion is exciting to watch. Detail is what's going to make investors actually consider the buy option. So maybe as a result, Vita and I could be presentation buddies. She could worry about the details and I could just worry about the presentation. Then a win.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
There you go. Love it.
We have, Ben, I'm glad that you bring that up because we have toyed, and especially for like maybe the championship bouts, like so once they reach their concluding thing, like having some sort of like a scoring system, right? To see like if they have like a point system to see if they do go ahead and tackle the certain things. I think that would make it more it might be more difficult, but also make you like, hey, I need to have this information on my presentation. I need to make sure that this is clear. So Harrison, he's bringing it up. It's been a conversation me and Harrison have been talking about. Yeah, exactly what I've said to Jose. The pitch should be considered in the votes. So yeah, it's one of those things that we are considering, and I talked to Harrison about this specifically, and it's one of the things that we are discussing how we would do that and implement that for the championship rounds once the tournaments get there. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, again, Vita, you are our champion. Thank you so much for you guys taking the time to do so. I'm going to share this last clip here of Glider because it's just such a great one.
Is Rome worth one good man's life? We believed it once. Make us believe it again.
I should have chosen this look for Lucilla.
Oh man!
You know that Zimmer's score is really like.
I know.
Incredible.
It's
That's one of his.
Incredible.
That's one of his best scores.
And I got one for you, Ben, as well. This one's for you.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I love it every time.
No. All kidding. All love, Ben. You know I love you, and I appreciate you coming back and doing your presentation, man. Again, it was a close one. It was closer than I think you thought it was. So it was pretty close. But I really appreciate you guys both taking the time to do this presentation. It does take a lot of nerve to come up here and do this presentation and put yourself out there, expose yourself into something like that. So big appreciation and for you guys doing that and coming on back on the show. All right. Well, Ben, again, you're always welcome as a special guest judge. If you would like to come back, you are always welcome. Always welcome. 100%. All right, guys, before we go and before I let you guys, is there anything you guys want to shout out? Anything about you guys on your upcoming channels? Anything you guys want to talk about before I let you guys go?
Let's Get Nuts is tomorrow. I've had 5 weeks off of the show just because of life and work and like lots of different random things that have come up. So yeah, Super Bowl, like there were so many things that popped up. So we are back tomorrow for Let's Get Nuts Sunday. If you want to join there, we would love to see you guys. Adam, I think, will be with me as my co-host of the show. And then of course, anybody here is always welcome to join us and have some fun chatting a little bit more about some figures and all of the good stuff. And if you live in the United States, I would love it if you go to Disney Plus and type in the Ben Thomas Show. I just was able to negotiate my Predator Badlands video from the Ben Thomas Show is now appearing on Disney Plus under the Predator Badlands film, which is cool. So go give it a watch. The more it gets viewed, the more content I might be able to do with the mouse at some point, which would be kind of fun. So it was cool to see. And I feel like while I appreciate all the flowers you guys have given me for that, it felt like a win for Hot Toys, the community, everybody that I stream with, everybody that supported me in the journey with the show, but also just the fact that like we all get a chance to talk on Hot Toys all the time. And if people look up me, they're going to see you guys as well. And I freaking love that, because all of you are deserving people in the community to get some flowers. So I love you guys. Thanks for the support, and thanks for having me back, Jose. It was a lot of fun, and congratulations to Vita for an epic championship win. You love to see it. If I wouldn't want to lose to anybody else, so I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ben. And yeah, I might be a winner on Menos, but obviously you're winning with Disney Plus and all. You know, look at you.
That's cool.
Thanks for having me as well. Obviously, I always get very nervous. I can't just chat nonsense all the time, but when I actually need to present, it's much harder. But I enjoyed it. I actually got so passionate about this, as I told you earlier. Like, I sold it to myself. I was like, I want this figure. Come on, let's do it. I would like to shout out myself, Jim and Harrison. So we have a new stream going. We had 4 episodes so far. So we have stream every Thursday. I think it's, I don't remember the times. UK time is 8 p.m.
7 p.m. our time. Then it's like
8
12
p.m. 8 p.m. our time.
That's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And then it's 12 p.m. in America for one of them. And then
Pacific.
3 p.m. for the other.
Sal is watching it on his lunch break, so if anyone knows when Sal is having lunch break, that's the time.
Yeah, it's 12 Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Thank you.
That's correct.
And
yes.
yeah, and check out Jim's YouTube as well. He did quite a few reviews recently. There's more coming out, and send him all the love. And maybe sometime I will appear there again.
Absolutely. What about you, Fizi? You got anything going on? I know you got the episode with the gaming show that you're doing tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Speaking of gaming, those 3, Vita, Jim, and Viking collectibles, inspired me. Now that there's, I see that there's more gamers in the community, inspired me to kind of put some content on my Fizi's Media channel. Right. That's my my channel where I cover entertainment media. So first stream for that one, video game base, will be tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then that's 7 p.m. GMT. And so like I mentioned, those same 3 will be on my stream tomorrow, as well as a couple others. So looking forward to that one. Talking video games, always up for talking video games with some fellow collectors, or just anyone in general. It's just like it's not something, it's kind of more of a niche within a niche there. So yeah, that's looking forward to that. And then as always, my Fizi's Figures channel, Hot Talk and Figure Lowdown. I play this for those. We'll be doing a Hot Talk episode coming up. I haven't scheduled it yet, but going over the same figures here as I usually do, and kind of a little more detail and what they come with and comparisons and all that stuff. So yeah, just keep it locked on my Fizi's Figures channel, or my my social media, Instagram, Facebook, when I'll post those up for my next streams. But yeah, thanks again for having me, Jose, and the panelists here. This was fun. This was good to be on this side of it. Right? It's my first time coming back since me and Ben went head to head. He was the victor, obviously, in that one. So yeah, this was it was good to be on this side of it. So now I'm going to go be a competitor again with the 2 other panelists here. So looking forward to that one. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, sports figures, man. You got to start thinking about something. So
I know, right?
Start planning, man.
Do my homework.
Start planning. Do your homework. Absolutely. Well, speaking of those individuals, Adam, you got anything coming up?
Well, first of all, Jose, thanks for having me back on. Thank the panelists. First of all, Ben, Vita, you guys killed it. I think this is some of the best presentations that I've seen. And as Ben said, tomorrow we got Let's Get Nuts. I'm really excited to get back on with Ben and crew. So I think that's gonna be fun. Next Friday with Geo and the Movie Canon. I'll be on that. And something I'm working on. Don't have an exact start time when that is, but I'm actually going to start doing my own live stream. I want to do something different. Jose, much like you have this awesome Shark Tank show. I'm going to maybe talk a little bit of, and Vita and Jim with Harrison. You guys do a great job with video games. It's going to be called the 80s Kids. And it's about what I consider the greatest decade in human history. The 1980s just happens to be the decade I grew up in, and just talking about the culture from that era, movies, the cartoons, the music, just the things that give a warm place in my heart from when I grew up. So that's gonna be coming soon. Might be reaching out to some of you to just talk about certain things, like some of the best cartoons, different years that we calling out cultural icons from that era. So that's coming soon. yeah, it's for those who lived through it, were born in it, or just appreciate the 1980s. You didn't have to be born in it to love that stuff. So that's coming soon. More to come. More announcements on that. And other than that, look forward to coming back, I guess, in March, Jose. For our competition, talk about sports. So it'll be sports figures. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Game on.
Figures it is.
Game on.
Absolutely. Sal, well, speaking of, I'll see you back here for the next episode. You have anything coming up? Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I just have my I have my I don't know. I guess you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. I have one picture posted, which is amazing. I'm just getting the collection room like fixed up and stuff. I just got a new video light in yesterday, so I'll be doing some better photography hopefully for my stuff. And I mean, I guess I didn't just start out collecting, but I guess I just started out doing all this cool stuff and decided to make a collecting page. So hopefully that grows a little bit. If not, it's cool. Chilling.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to having you back here next month. Gio, thank you so much for everything you've done for this show, man. Again, I always have to give you your flowers. Again, those epic intros and the King Shark intro were all produced by Gio. So again, I really, really appreciate you. Anything you want to share with us, man?
Yeah. Jose, thank you, as always, for inviting me here with this great panel. Like I said, one day, I'll vote for Vita for one of the pitches. Maybe if it's against me, maybe I'll just vote for Vita. Just
That time lucky?
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, thank you again, Jose. Like I said, streamed with most of you guys here before. But as far as me, I did Figures Talk Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. PST. So I streamed last night. Went kind of late like always, and woke up early so I can be on here. So and then doing the horror talk episode next Saturday the 28th, covering Scream 7 is coming out, and covering that film, and then just overall the franchise and things like that. So that's 11 a.m. PST on the 28th, and then again, like I said, Figures Talk. It's Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Feezy and Adam, they were on the stream last night, and they're usually on there, and sometimes Harrison has been on there too. And then Jose, when he has time, he's able to join us the last 20 minutes of the stream. So we got that. There you go. But yeah, thank you, Jose, as always, for inviting me here. So thank you.
Of course. Did I get everybody? Jim, is there anything? I mean, you guys already talked about your show, but is there anything else you want to share with us? That's it.
No, Vita already touted me, so I'm all good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you don't have to sleep on the couch tonight. You went. You made the right choice. So
Me too.
I'm glad you did.
Me too.
And again, shout out to Harrison here in the chat. Says amazing stream, everyone. Like, follow, and subscribe to everyone here. All fantastic people and lovely words, Ben. We'll love to all. Best part of the hobby is being part of the community. Absolutely, Harrison. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, it's been an excellent, extra long episode. Again, it was a big panel, so I'm sorry about the length there, but I appreciate you guys sticking through it. All right, guys. Well, until the next episode, guys, we will see you in March for this epic 3-way battle. See ya.
Let's go. Later, all.
All right. See you guys.
Jose, can't you see?
Wait a second. The first word is Jose? I thought it was Jose. We know.
Wow! It's about a Spanish guy. Oh, Jose, can you?
I don't believe it, man.
It's so easy.